just two twists. So we really must insist that you try one, two, or all three of our bennies. See you at Denny's.
Things just got really gusty.
You got that right. Sweet kite. Is that a dragon?
It's a dinosaur.
I really like yours, too.
Of course, the new scratch off from the PA lottery.
That's right. Solid gold.
With top prizes of...
Wow, 250 grand.
I guess things really are looking up.
It'll blow you away. Keep on scratching.
Go to rotaryofaltoona.org today and learn more.
NFL Week 2 action with the silver and black Las Vegas Raiders and the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers with a black screen for some audio only live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube with the visiting Raiders, and back in Heinz Field with fans 65,000 plus in attendance, the hosting Pittsburgh Steelers to kick off this Week 2 in 2021 for the National Football League. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke at 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Raiders, hashtag Steelers. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. As well, the Steelers last Sunday went to upstate Western New York in Buffalo, defeated the Bills by a final score of 23-16 in a come-from-behind win. The Raiders, on the other hand, at home last Monday night against the Baltimore Ravens, also out of the AFC North, picked up a overtime win and now travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. So Pittsburgh, especially after a slow start last week, have to start fast today. Fast start, especially get the running game going with rookie running back Najee Harris at Alabama. And then with the Raiders, first road game of the year, hostile environment, of course, back-to-back days in this great state of Pennsylvania, even though Tom Wolf's made it, along with the rest of the Democrats and Joe Biden, made it, it's gone to shit, long story short. Anyways, whiteout, of course, last night with Penn State in college football hosting Auburn out of the SEC. Had a Carlson at kicker in that game for the Tigers. Have a Carlson at kicker today for the Raiders as well. 80-degree afternoon in western Pennsylvania as the terrible towels are out and about, and the Raiders are going to be on to kickoff to begin the game. So Ray McLeod, number 14, back deep to receive this opening kick. But with the silver and black, how do they build off of their overtime win against the Ravens last Monday night, and arguably one of the best games so far this season in the NFL? In the meantime, though, we're underway. McLeod from the 4-yard line on the return, down the far sideline, out past the 25 to the 32 before he gets pushed out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 Steelers from there. But great to see fans back in the stands as Ben Roethlisberger, 17 years ago today, back on September the 19th, 2004, Ben Roethlisberger threw his first ever NFL passing touchdown. He's 3 away from 400. We'll see if he can achieve that mark today or not. But to start off, 1st and 10 from the 32. Roethlisberger over the middle, complete. That's to number 19, Juju Smith-Schuster, for about 5, maybe 6 yards, depending on the spot. Pittsburgh on offense, of course, up front, you got rookie left tackle Dan Moore Jr. and a rookie center out of Illinois as well, 53, Kendrick Green. And then from left to right as well, have 2 guards and right tackle. Some experience, and they played well, I thought, last week. But they still have to find a running game with Najee Harris. Speak of the devil, 2-yard toss play to him to the 40. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Steeler offense here on their opening drive. We do have a few injuries, but we'll digress with that topic for the time being, because those key injuries with players that are out today are on the Raider offense and the Steeler defense. So once we get to that point in the game, once the Raiders get the football here, we'll dive into that and see what both these teams could do moving forward. 3rd and 2 from 40. 13-40 here to play in this opening quarter as we're just underway. Over the middle, complete to Juju once again, 1st down. Pittsburgh also in the meantime, side by side here on Fox, as the Raiders-Steeler game is on CBS with Ian Eagle, along with, as that's a nice big hit by the Raider defense. Juju with 2 catches here on this opening drive to keep the sticks moving. 1st and 10 now from the 45 for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger under center. Going to hand off to Double Deuce 22, Najee Harris. And he's going to be brought down to the backfield for a tackle for loss of about a yard. As mentioned, though, with CBS having Vegas-Pittsburgh on Fox currently, we're underway now with the other Pennsylvania team in this great state. As mentioned, that's completely gone to shit past year and a half, even before then, but especially this past 18, 20 months now, coming up on 2 years. We got in the city of brotherly love, the 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, with both teams at 1-0 as well, as San Fran defeated Detroit last Sunday, and then Philly, with their home opener today as well, defeated Atlanta last week. Fake the give, Roethlisberger on a rollout, complete to none other. Hey, 3rd time's the charm already on this drive. Number 19, Juju Smith-Schuster. And there's old Chucky John Gruden on the Raiders sideline, back in his former home. Coached Oakland at that point in time for 4 years before he was traded to Tampa Bay. Roethlisberger, nice big pump fake, almost gets taken down on the sack and then gets rid of it, and it's almost caught, dropped, incomplete. Intended for Ebron 85 at the 40. So that brings up a 4th down for Pittsburgh, and here comes the rookie punter out of Georgia Tech. And they almost beat Clemson yesterday, losing by 6, 14-8. Number 6, Presley Harvin. We'll see if his blue suede shoes can pin the Raiders deep inside their 10-yard line. Nice punt. Fair caught at the 16, so Raiders going to have to start deep inside the 20, but fair catch by, hey, that was Georgia Tech punter to a former Clemson receiver as well, Hunter Renfrow, on the fair catch. So commercial break, 1st and 10 for the Raiders following the Steelers' opening drive stalling and ending with a punt. I mean, it wasn't a quick 3-and-out by any means. They still don't have no running game by any means whatsoever, though. Got to find that. I mean, that toss play went for, 5-6 yards, but then at the other, on the other side of it, Roethlisberger hit because, well, Juju, is the number 1 receiver, but even with the depth Pittsburgh has at receiver as well, with Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and James Washington, and then a two-headed monster tight end with Ebron and Pat Fryermuth. Okay, he went to Ebron and it was incomplete, 4th down, but then also no Pat Fryermuth yet. Ben just, hey, I'm going to chuck it to Juju as many times as he did, 3, maybe 4 times. And, I mean, they're all catches, but there's other players on the offense. It doesn't always rely on just, you know, one or a couple different players. So no I in team, of course. So we'll see what Pittsburgh can do moving forward. Of course, in the remaining part of the game on offense, I get it's still early, no doubt about it. But like, just a little disappointing, I guess you could say, that they had a good drive going, and then, but I mean, flip side of it, you got to give credit to the Raiders defense. They were able to stop and hold Pittsburgh and force them to punt here on their opening drive. And now we'll see what they can do on offense when we get the ball back. And, you know, speaking of what the Raiders going to be on offense, they're going to be without their 2 touchdown running back from last Monday night in number 28, Josh Jacobs. So this, I mean, would be a Alabama running back show today with Jacobs and Harris, but Jacobs out with a foot injury. So it's going to be Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber toting the rock for the silver and black today. And then on the flip side, as mentioned, with the Steelers defense as well, they're down a few starters as well. Joe Hayden along with Devin Bush out injured, not playing. So James Pierre along with Arthur Millette and the depth Pittsburgh has at linebacker as well. Look for somebody to step up. But 1st and 10 from the 16, back from commercial break for the Raiders. Derek Carr over the middle is intended for number 87, Moreau, and good coverage by 93, Joe Schobert, the former Jag that Pittsburgh traded for back in the preseason. And so now as Ruggs is in motion, following the incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for Vegas. Empty set 5 wide. And then it's caught. Derek Carrier, 85 on the reception, 11 yards for him. 1st down, Vegas. But yes, Iron Eagle, Charles Davis, along with Evan Washburn on the call for CBS. I believe I hear or saw Mark Schlereth for Fox, former Bronco offensive lineman who used to work for ESPN as well, on the call for this 49er Eagle game. That's all tied up at 0 as well. They don't give them 1st down. 3rd and short. They sneak it though. 1st down, Raiders now. See some scores coming across the screen in the meantime as Carolina leads 7-0. As always, coming up half. First half stats and scores from this game, and we'll take a look around the rest of the NFL. Yeah, the Panthers lead New Orleans 7-0, but only a few minutes in, so they had to have scored on their opening drive, just as Chicago did at home against the Bengals as well, because both visitors in New Orleans and Cincy both currently have the football right now. So 1st and 10 out of the eye for the Raiders, and number 31, Peyton Barber, getting the start at running back was the injury by Josh Jacobs. Browns in the meantime at home score, lead 7-0 over the Houston Texans. Houston, Carolina actually play this coming Thursday night, which would be an interesting game. I mean, arguably just because both Thursday night games have come down to the wire in the final play of the game. Kick off the NFL season here in weeks 1 and 2, of course, with the Buccaneers defeating Cowboys. And then also just this past Thursday, kick off week 2, the Washington football team defeated Big Blue and the New York Football Giants on a game-winning field goal. But in the meantime, a commercial break with a Pittsburgh Steeler injury. We'll see who that is when we return. But, you know, back to the Steeler offense real quick. And, I mean, we can hold off and wait until they get the ball back as well. But, you know, I was just saying, just, of course, yeah, a little disappointing that they couldn't keep that drive alive, and they no doubt have to find a running game here. But if if it's going to be Ben trying to do it all and nobody else is getting the hell open, and he's going to be going to Juju all day like he did on that opening drive. I mean, okay, Ebron was incomplete and they punted, but like I said, there's other players on this offense, and they all know that. It's just the opening drive is too early, but still, like when they had something good going and then it stalls the way it did, like, come on. They'll arguably be in for a long-ass afternoon, and the Raiders' defense, you would think, would be able to, of course, hold them and stop, and then if they can get something going on offense, more power to them. A few injuries, like I said. Josh Jacobs is out. Have a Steeler injured on defense right now as well. We'll see who that is when we return, but also without, as mentioned just a minute ago, Joe Hayden and Devin Bush with some lower leg injuries, but regardless, is still next man up. At corner is James Pierre and Arthur Millette, of course Cameron Sutton and Minka Fitzpatrick going to be holding down the fort now on the back end at both corner and safety, but then a linebacker with the depth Pittsburgh has at that position. Losing Devin Bush for a game today, hell, he was out half the season last year, and the defense stepped up in his absence. We're back. Aerial shot of Pittsburgh and the 4-1-2. Heinz Field hosting Pittsburgh and Vegas this afternoon. Pitt played a home game yesterday as well, lost to Western Michigan 44-41, which was absolutely hilarious. But you have TJ Watt, Joe Sherbert made a tackle there a little bit ago. You have Alex Highsmith, Melvin Ingram, Robert Spillane, Marcus Allen on special teams coming up big. But the injury is to number 94, Justin Lulu, who almost re-signed with the Jags, a team he used to play for before Pittsburgh, but then decided to stay with the Steelers, and then just as they traded for Schobert, number 93 switches number after the preseason, and now Olulu's injured. So D-tackle, of course, they still have Cameron Hayward, and at D-end, whether they're, for the most part, it's going to be a 3-4 with backers coming off the edge. You got Wormley and Davis, along with, if Stephon Tuitt was not currently injured right now, that'd be a totally different story. 3rd and 3, and Kenyon Drake, the former, another Alabama Crimson Tide running back who also has played for the Dolphins and Cardinals now in Sin City with the Raiders, gets the carry, and TJ Watt along with Alex Highsmith make the stop. 4th down, Steelers going to get the ball back with McLeod back deep to receive as we hit the midway point in this opening quarter. No studio updates yet from any other current games going on, but we'll check in on some a little bit later on, coming up at half. Ray Mysterio McLeod out on the return, and about 26-yard line he goes. So it'll be 1st and 10 Steelers from there. Late penalty flag comes in for some pushing and shoving. I feel like this is going to be on Pittsburgh. Her ref actually just did that. Hey, I'm watching you, with his eyes, pointing his fingers, like, I see you, like, you better watch yourself. The ref actually just did that to a player, which I don't think I've ever seen that before. But as we have an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Pittsburgh Steelers on the punt return, it's going to be half the distance, 1st down for the black and gold. Hell, I don't think I've seen, as we saw last night, the officials call an intentional grounding for a ball thrown 50 yards downfield, along with making a team punt on 3rd down when they thought it was 4th down. But hell, that happened last night in college football. 1-4 to play in this opening quarter. Steelers football again, 1st and 10 following the penalty. Good to see Zach Gentry, number 81, also active today. So 3 tight ends with the 5 receivers and, you know, the couple running backs Pittsburgh has on the step chart as well. Roethlisberger, play action, going to go deep near side. It's intended for Claypool. Good coverage. And Hayward Jr. on the stop. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh. And if only Ben, I don't know, might have pump faked again or even put a little bit more on it, Claypool right now will probably be walking in the end zone. But it falls incomplete. It really wasn't that underthrown. It was just a good coverage by Oakland, LA, back to Oakland, Vegas, whatever they want to call them, Raiders. Hand off Najee Harris up the gut. He gets to the 23-yard line for a big Pittsburgh Steeler first down. That's what you want to see with Najee Harris in the backfield. And it all starts up front of the offense line. You got to be able to block to run, block to open up the play action pass. Might have got away with a few holds, but holdings on every play. Just a matter on if they call it or not. That's arguably his biggest run of the season thus far. I get we're only a game and 7 minutes into it, but now he has 3 carries for 15 yards here this afternoon. Going to give it to him again. Dancing around east-west when the end zone's straight ahead of you north-south. It's downhill. It's give him the ball, you block for him, and you go to work. Alulu, not a good sign, being carted off from the sideline back into the locker room. Hopefully he's okay. You know, he's really, along with, and especially with Tuitt out still, the number 2 behind Cameron Hayward, and now it's just Cameron Hayward and Chris Wormley up front. Empty set, 5 wide on 2nd and 12 for Pittsburgh. Ben pump fakes, dumps it off, complete to Claypool for about 3.5, maybe 4 yards, depending on the spot, with 6:36 to play. Bills score, lead Miami on the road 7-0, as the Rams also have done the same at Indy. And then the Texans just tied it up as well against the Browns at 7 apiece, as for the most part, you know, here as we hit almost 1:30 on the East Coast, you know, of course the NFL is more of a faster pace than any other level of football is. We're almost nearing the end of all these opening quarters for all these 1 o'clock kicks. Ben on 3rd and 10 looking to throw, gets rid of it, and it's going to be picked off as the receiver, Juju Smith-Schuster, I believe it was, just quit running. And Trayvon Mullen, the former State Bulldog, picks it off, and a decent return. It was actually intended for number 18, Deontay Johnson. And that Ben did put a little too much on it, but a little miscommunication though as well with 7 and 18. And I mean, he avoided a sack, got rid of it, got drilled as he let it go. And I mean, the Raiders on defense just making some plays right now, and they get an interception off of Big Ben, and a good return by the former first-round pick, as it was 7-27 on the interception. No jet airliner on the return for a touchdown though, but in Steeler territory at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10s, where Vegas is going to set up shop following the turnover. So I mean, if they would have got a good punt return, okay, they might be around the same yardage right now for starting point, but you know, 3rd and 10, they throw the pick, and as Jacksonville scores, they lead Denver at home 7-0. The Ram touchdown, as we saw update on Fox, it was a Stafford passing touchdown to Cooper Kupp at Indianapolis. So still all knotted up at 0 apiece here with Vegas and Pittsburgh in the first quarter, with now 5 minutes and 25 seconds to play. That first down pass was complete to Kenyon Drake on a screen with a first down for the Raiders. However, in the meantime, fumble on the strip sack, TJ Watt. That's why they paid him once again, folks. gets to Derek Carr. We'll see who comes up with it out of the pile. But turn down for Watt. Second straight game, he's gotten after the opposing quarterback. A strip sack fumble. The Steelers last week recovered it. Don't believe they just did here. Raiders going to keep it. Raiders recover the fumble. That's a clear-cut fumble. And that is why the Pittsburgh Steelers gave TJ Watt a 5-year, $112 million deal before the season began. He'll be here until at least 2026. Will be 2nd and 10, though. 2nd and 11 officially from the 29, even though this drive started at the 39. They say they lost a yard, but it's 2nd and 11 from the 29. Falling the fumble, and then a fumble on the snap. Carr couldn't come down with it, and then ends up falling on it, so now it's 3rd and a mile. He's pissed off. Raiders back-to-back plays with back-to-back fumbles. That's on the center right there. That's no doubt on the center. You got to be able to snap the football to your quarterback. At least the Vegas Raiders here are in field goal territory, and Carlson has a leg on them, so if needed. False start. They're just shooting themselves in the foot now. 3rd and 14, make it 3rd and 19. So these few recent plays, of course, the strip sack fumble, they recover. Fumble on the snap, they recover that. Now a false start. I mean, what else can you ask for? Falling their best starting field position, falling a Roethlisberger interception, and now they're going backwards. They're going the wrong way. Buffalo 14-0 now at Miami. Not that bit of a surprise, but it's still early. A lot of football to be played, of course, in all of these games, but you never, of course, want to turn it over, but the Raiders, on the meantime now, just seems like they forgot how to play football. Dump off, and Drake going to be brought down inside the 30, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal after they had something good going, couldn't capitalize off of the interception, and of course, a couple fumbles they recovered, penalty as well, and then does a simple dump off on a screen on 3rd and long, and now here comes Daniel Carlson for a field goal. This will be from 46 yards officially. And the kick is going to be up and good. So the Raiders, they do end up capitalizing off of Roethlisberger interception, put 3 on the board with a field goal, but they arguably should have had more than that. Punched it in for 6 for a touchdown. But because of 2 fumbles, they did recover, but then a false start penalty backed them up even more. 3rd down, long offense play call. You're in slim pickings there, and they have to settle for a field goal. At least we have some points now being scored in this game rather than a tie 0-0 ball game, as San Fran and Philly is also the same. So 0-0 in the eastern part of the state, now 3-0 Raiders in the western part of the state. And we'll see what Pittsburgh can do back on offense when they get the ball back, because I mean, at least Harris did have a big first down run there on that last drive, and then of course the interception on 3rd down to follow a few plays later. You know, they have to find a running game. There's no question. If they don't, just as it was all last season, even with an 11-0 start, you know, once again, no wonder they lost 5 of 6 and lost in the first round of playoffs. It'll be not a long season by any means, but at the same time, I know that with what I'm about to say, it doesn't really make any sense, but it'll still be a long season. It's just is what it is. It's just how it'll go if they can't find a running game. I think eventually they will, but and then even with the play calls, you know, once again, as it was last year, because they didn't have a running game, Roethlisberger needs, or he can't do it all. Somebody needs to step up. You know, whether or not that's just better play calling. I get, okay, you got a new offense coordinator, Matt Canada, but he's been with the program for a little while now as a quarterback coach, and now as the offense coordinator, taking over for Randy Fiechner, who was fired after last year. But, you know, here we go again with Penn State and the Steelers. You know, defense wins you championships, and both defenses right now, stout as all hell, and if they got to keep the offenses, talk about Steelers now, but, you know, I've said it how many times already in college football this year as well, including last night. Thank you for tuning in and watching if you did. Thank you if you're currently watching, if you currently are. Well, actually listening, audio only, live right here on YouTube. Eagles with a field goal, so now both games are 3-0. However, in the one game, it's the home team winning by an early score of 3-0, as the Raiders also just got 3, and they kick off. Ray McLeod on the return. So 1st and 10 Steelers. So if the defense is going to have to keep them in the game until the offense gets moving, then so be it. And if it's going to be heart attack city for half the games, if not more, in this expanded season, once again, then so be it. I mean, as long as they come out on top and pick up a win in the end, and there's a W in the win column against your opponent that you played that day, that's all that matters, because that's all anybody ever remembers anyway. So 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from the 22, complete to number 22 from number 7, Najee Harris. Nice stiff arm, spin move, broken tackle, and ends up only picking up 8 on that play. But what a move set there by Najee Harris, able to keep this play alive. And I mean, in the meantime, okay, if this was late in the game, I would have said, okay, get the hell out of bounds, but he stays in, clock's in, continue to roll. I mean, it's still early. We're only, you know, here at the end of the first quarter now, 2:30 and counting to play. 2nd and 1, official pickup at 9. And a quick bubble screen, complete to Deontay Johnson. 1st down Steelers, however, late penalty flag comes in from behind. This will probably be coming back for a hold, I bet. Who's going to be on there? That's a big question. Because they got 2 rookie offensive linemen up front, whereas the Raiders, on the flip side, they're also out 2 starters on their offensive line as well, I might add, from earlier. And it'll be a hold on, hey, a receiver, number 19, Juju Smith-Schuster. Who would have guessed it? Now our first update on CBS, what do we got? Okay, we got an update of Buffalo and Miami with a Mike Tomlin pitcher side by side, but now here come the highlights. It's 7-0 Buffalo, and then they extend their lead to 14, as we saw on the bottom of our screen a little bit ago. So Bills 14, Dolphins 0, Texans and Browns side by 7, Broncos with a field goal now as well. Jags lead 7-3, 3-0 Eagles over the Niners. It was 7-0 Rams at the Colts as well. So first half stats and scores from this game, along with taking a look around the rest of the NFL coming up at halftime as always, so stay tuned. 2nd and 5, slant over the middle, complete to number 9. Another flag on the damn play, Jesus Christ. Probably gonna be another hold on number 19, Juju Smith-Schuster, but that was complete to number 18, Deontay Johnson. Now we got illegal use of the hands of the face on the Raider defense. Penalty's gonna be declined because it was 2nd and 5. And the Steelers, of course, picked up a 1st down on the play as well. So, yeah, penalties going to be declined. Still an automatic 1st down for Pittsburgh. I guess that's an all right penalty call. I mean, that's just football. You know, you, when you sign up, you know you're going to get hit. You know you're going to get your hands put all over the place. You know you're going to get, shoved around, from your opponent, because it's one up front, in the trenches, line of scrimmage, block, protect the quarterback, get after the opposing quarterback, run the football, open it up, and air it out downfield, handoff. And Benny Snell, former Kentucky Wildcat, first action this season for Pittsburgh. Going to get about a half yard or so if he's lucky. They give him a full yard, 2nd and 9. He's going to come out now, back in. Comes number 22, Najee Harris. Thought arguably Snell was going to get cut following the end of the preseason, but Pittsburgh does in fact keep a total of 6 running backs with a fullback, number 44, Derek Watt, as well, and this includes the practice squad. Of course, you got Najee Harris, who's back in, standing back at the 30-yard line, 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger under center at the 36, handoff to him, and he's going to get about another yard, maybe 2 if he's lucky or so, and it'll be 3rd down. They're going to have to snap it at least one more time before the end of the first quarter because there's a 3-second differential between the game clock and the play clock. 3rd and 8. So we'll see what they draw up here to close out the first, but then we'll end one with Vegas, for the most part, probably leading as the Patriots lead the Jets 3-0 as well. Raiders leading the Steelers 3-0 here at the end of one, but 10 seconds, 3rd and 8. And a bubble screen complete to Juju. He's going to pick up a first down the far sideline. All right. Gets out of bounds with 2 seconds. So they're going to have to snap it once more, actually. And now that I, of course, bring that up, and now the clock rolls. So end of one. They'll flip ends. The Raiders lead the Steelers 3-0, but the Steelers have some momentum now moving forward. They'll, even with the interception, if the Raiders capitalize here in the first quarter, at the end of one, it's 3-0, silver and black over the black and gold, but Pittsburgh with a big first down pickup to close out the quarter. So they'll have a 1st and 10, of course, when we return. But once more, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube, and audio only. Live watch-along reaction of the Raiders and Steelers with the silver and black and the black and gold. That's why you see the black screen. But in the meantime, on Fox, we have the 49ers and Eagles. And right now, of course, on CBS in my area, the main game, it's Raiders and Steelers, as always. And then, we've had a few updates. Really, I guess, thinking back to last week, at this point in time, we really didn't have a whole lot. I mean, okay, I'll take the 2 that we've had in both games, but even with all the games on, I'm surprised they're not showing us some more highlights from all the action that's currently going on. But hell, we did get a few bonus coverage games following the 1 o'clock window last week as well. So we'll see if that sticks around today or not. It just depends on, of course, what's going on in the NFL with how the games are playing out and what they can show versus what they can't show, because I know last week, of course, with the NFL overtime rule, they had to, because I believe it got under 2 minutes, they had to take off the conclusion because, well, at that time, too, the start of the Packers-Saints game got underway, so they had to take off the, and plus this bonus coverage to begin with, like it wasn't the actual game that everybody was watching, unless, of course, you're in those 2 markets, but it was tied in overtime. Bengals, of course, ended up beating the Vikings, but and if they wouldn't have made that field goal, it would have ended in a tie, of course. And then we had an overtime game on Monday with these Raiders that are, of course, in Pittsburgh today. And now as we'll begin quarter 2, back from commercial break, the Steelers are going to have a 1st and 10. Trying to get on the board for the first time in the first half this season, because they were shut out on the road in the first half last week at Buffalo. Shut out again here in the first opening quarter and the home opener today. From the 44, Roethlisberger going to be in the gun. Looking to throw. He's going to step up and then goes down on a sack. He might have got a yard because he dove forward a little bit because he was looking to just tuck it and run. They're going to mark him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And once again, yeah, Ben having all day to throw. Good offensive line protection. But then it's also good coverage by the Raiders on the back end of it. Nobody's open. There's nothing he can do unless, he tucks it and runs or ends up just throwing it away, and then he goes down. But 2nd and 10, empty set, 5 wide over the middle, it's caught. This is what helps with the quick screens or just the quick passes on dump-offs over the middle, or if they're going to take a deep shot as well. That's complete over the middle for 6 to Juju Smith-Schuster, who now, I believe, has 4 catches on the afternoon, as he has been Ben's go-to receiver so far today, as Roethlisberger's 9 of 12 as the Steelers in the meantime are going to take a timeout. They don't like what they see. Make sure they get this right on 3rd and 4. I don't think Ben was liking the play call that Matt Canada had planned. At 3rd and 4, Roethlisberger's 9 and 12 for 58 yards on that pick. Juju does have 5 catches for a little over half of what Ben has passing. So, it's Roethlisberger to Juju right now. Of course, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool have a few catches apiece now too. But need to see those big runs that we saw, or at least that one big run we saw from Najee Harris a bit ago. We need to see more of that consistently. If, once again, they can get a running game going and then just continue to do, what they're doing on offense and the defense holds it down, they'll be fine. I mean, they're fine right now as it is. I mean, coming into the season, I feel like nobody was giving the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers a shot to go out and win any games. But, hey, they upset Buffalo last week. They are going to take a deep shot here on 3rd and 4, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for a Claypool in the end zone. Almost came down with it. Good coverage once again by Casey Hayward, who has the interception off of Roethlisberger from earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, that was Trayvon Mullen. Hayward, that's his second big stop, though, on good coverage by the Raider defense here in this first half. He almost came down with the pick, so Ben almost threw his second of the day in the second quarter, but incomplete. At least they're right on the edge to kick a field goal with Boswell from the 38. So it'd be about a 56, 57-yard field goal attempt right now. It is 4th and 4. I mean, if they want to kick it, okay, try to tie it up at 3 apiece, I'll take it. The thing is, you miss, the Raiders are getting the football right there. You punt, you pin them deep, you make them drive, they score on you that way, okay, then so be it. This is going to be a tough decision right now, I'd say, if they want to kick it with Boswell or not. I mean, they honestly, I get they just call a timeout. Still a lot of time to play in this first half, 13:37 in the second quarter. It's 4th and 4. You try to get out there, try to draw them off sides. Of course, that's a 5-yard penalty. It's automatic first down then for you. And they keep drive alive, the offense back out there, and try to punch it in. But in the meantime, they're not even going to do either of those. They're not going to kick it. They're not going to punt. The Steeler offense is going to stay on the field for 4th and 4, and they're going to go for it on 4th down here in this second quarter to try to keep the drive alive. Ben, empty set, going to roll out, and then gets drilled as he gets rid of it, and nobody there, incomplete. 10 for Claypool. Ben a little slow to get up. It's been just over 2 years. In the home opener that season as well, against a team from out west, it was Seattle Seahawks, in which Ben Roethlisberger was injuring his elbow and ending his season in the process of doing so. So an incomplete, failed 4th down conversion for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Raiders getting the football back, and they lead by 3-0. Meantime, we got a touchdown by Philly. However, it looks like Jalen Reagor stepped out of bounds going down the sideline and then came back in and then caught it for a touchdown. So that is probably going to be an illegal touch, if I'd have to say, unless they already reviewed it and confirmed it that it is a touchdown. Okay, the previous play is under further review, so right now it's an Eagle touchdown, but I'd say there's probably going to be a good chance it's going to get overturned and it's going to go down as incomplete because you can't do what he just did. I mean, you can and try to get away with it, of course, with all the cameras nowadays. It's like they see everything. So looks like the Eagle offense is already coming back out on the field. They know it's not going to be a touchdown. We'll see what the down and distance will be, though, but it'll go down as incomplete rather than a passing touchdown from Jalen Hurts to former Horned Frog from Fort Worth, Texas, TCU, Jalen Reagor. The Eagles arguably in the NFC East, I feel like the Giants aren't really going to be doing a whole lot, but they played well on Thursday. So did Washington now. And, of course, one with Cam Field. And Taylor Heineke, I tell you what, man. That dude, that guy, whatever the hell you want to call him, he can flat out play football at quarterback. And I think even once Ryan Fitzpatrick does come back, it's going to be Heineke's job. But, okay, you're going to have Fitzpatrick to back him up then at that point. But then if you need to, go back and forth and have two quarterback system like a few teams do right now, so be it. Because it was a touchdown, all scoring plays are reviewed, so there was no challenge, but the previous play was under further review regardless. And it's going to be reversed. It's going to be incomplete, but it's also going to be a penalty because it's an illegal touching. So touchdown off the board for the Eagles. They still lead, though, however, with the football in their possession by a score of 3-0 at home against the 49ers. From the Steel City, though, Raiders back with the football, leading 3-0 as well here early second quarter, following a failed fourth down conversion by the Steelers. So, other than the one punt that Pittsburgh had, all three drives have basically ended with turnovers because they had a good one going before they had to punt, which that's still a turnover because you're turning the ball back over to your opponent. Got a few big hits along with a few penalty flags coming in. Spillane's probably going to get a targeting called on him right now. I don't know about that much, but personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. Okay, at least it's not targeting. Or it was on Alex Highsmith, 56, not 41, even though that was Spillane who hit him. And that is helmet to helmet on Derek Carr. But that's just old school smash mouth football with these two teams. What the hell do you expect when the Raiders and Steelers are playing one another in the NFL? I don't care what year it is. This type of defense, you're going to get hit and you're going to like it type of mentality. This is what happens. But they do throw the penalty flag. At least they didn't get ejected for targeting. But 15 yards, automatic first down for the Raiders from the 38. Handoff, and Peyton Barber going to be brought down to the backfield for a loss of 3. It was a helmet-to-helmet hit, no doubt about it. I'm not going to argue it. And they called it on the wrong guy. They called it on Highsmith, not Spillane. They said 56 when it was 41. And, looking back at that replay, it was more of a shoulder to helmet. But, of course, when you're wearing helmets in the sport of football, the helmets are still going to touch when you tackle. Okay? They make all these damn rolls and then have them don't even make any sense. And then we always argue on, they should change this, change that. But then they end up not changing them, and we just live with it. 2nd and 12. Pass complete to Renfro, makes a few men miss, picks up a big Raider first down as they're now knocking on the door, trying to extend their lead here on the road against the Steelers. But, back to the Steelers for a second on offense, that punt, but then Roethlisberger also threw a pick, and then the fourth down failed conversion that the Raiders are now trying to capitalize off of that on and score. Empty set. Pittsburgh jumps off sides. That's a free 5 yards for the Raiders. It'll be 1st and 5. And now Highsmith going to come out. Pittsburgh's got depth at backer anyway, so just keep flip-flopping them, keep subbing some players in. And Tyson Alulu is going to be out for the remaining part of the game with an ankle injury now. So it's just basically Cam Hayward up front. I mean, Wormley at the end as well. But end around, Henry Ruggs before Schobert brings him down out of bounds. So that's about 3 yards. It'll be second and short. But, I mean, this is just... with as good as the Steeler defense is, and okay, you get a big stop here, you get a big stop there, they're still giving up a lot before ending up, whether it's forcing a field goal or getting the ball back and not giving up anything. Okay, but, and I still get it's early, they just need to. And there's a big stop. Spillane along with Melvin Ingram on the tackle. Field goal by the Eagles when they would have had a touchdown, but it got overturned. And then the field goal gets blocked. So the 49ers getting the football back, still down 3-0. See a replay of it. Yep. Right up the middle, got blocked. And then a decent return. I mean, well, Philly actually got it, tried to run for first down, but then stopped them short of the line of gain, so they get the ball. 3rd and 2, pass near side, incomplete, intended for 83. Darren Waller, who had a ton of catches for a ton of yards last Monday night, falls incomplete. 4th and 2, and the Raiders are once again going to have to settle for another field goal. So you don't want to settle, but I get for the Steeler defense here. I mean, this is a big stop, especially after that penalty. And, it goes back to the previous drive before that, the interception they capitalized on, and now you go for it on 4th down. They're about to capitalize on this as well. So Daniel Carlson was good from 46 a little bit ago. We'll see if he can put it through from 33. And he does. That kick is up and good. So with 9:34 to play in this first half, the Raiders now on the road lead the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 6-0 with 2 field goals in their honor, as the Steelers got to get something going on offense. Once again, back to the running game. But we'll see how it plays out. Talk about their running backs that they have on the active roster and the practice squad. A total of 6 with fullback Derek Watt as well. Got Najee Harris, saw Benny Snell for a play a little bit ago, but other than that, that's his only carry, only action. Only time he's been on the field in 60 minutes of football in these 2 games so far this season. Kalen Ballage, another former Dolphin back, is Kenyon Drake's over on the other side. And, of course, with Josh Jacobs out, it is Peyton Barber and Kenyon Drake getting the carries this afternoon for the Raiders. But then Pittsburgh still has Anthony Tony McFarland Jr. out of Maryland, and then Jalen Samuels as well. But it's the Najee Harris show. It is. It's just like I said last week and just a little bit ago, too, they really last week didn't do that bad up front on the offensive line, blocking wise to run the ball and then have Ben throw for what he threw for. But Ben Roethlisberger is going to be Ben Roethlisberger, though, and he's going to make plays regardless of what the offensive line is doing. But once again, it all starts up front. Give it a block to run, block to open up the pass, and on the defensive line, of course, you get after your opposing quarterback, which both defenses with this low-scoring affair at 6-0, silver and black over the black and gold right now, as we near halftime. I mean, both defenses right now just holding it down. We'll see what gives. I'm sure something will, as always. But, yeah. Only time's going to tell. That's why they play the games, of course, folks. This is actually the first meeting ever between the new Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers, because it's first meeting since 2018, in which back in December of that year, the Steelers traveled to Oakland for the final time, and the Raiders won by a final score of 24-21. But as I've always said, especially with the Raiders' move once again, they, regardless of where they're located at, whether it's Oakland, LA, back to Oakland, or now in Vegas, the Raiders are always going to be the Raiders. So they lead 6-0 back from commercial break. Here we go on kickoff with Ray McLeod back deep to receive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it'll be down in the end zone for a touchback, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. So we'll see what they can do here on offense. 2 timeouts, of course, 2-minute warning. See if they can drain this clock a little bit, maybe, if they can get something going, and get the tight ends more involved as well. But regardless, like you just said, what they're doing up front, Ben, just let Ben do Big Ben things. Let him make plays. Just don't be throwing any interceptions, please and thank you. Friar Muth in motion, 1st and 10. Fake the toss, roll out, and it's going to be caught for a pickup of 15 to number 18, Deontay Johnson, former Rocket from Toledo, and that was a rocket of a pass from Roethlisberger to Johnson, who has another catch here in this first half. Good coverage, good defense by both these teams so far. Of course, Pittsburgh's made a few more big hits, a few more big stops, but the Raiders on the back end, some big stops in coverage. As in the meantime, what do we have here? Najee Harris for another Pittsburgh Steeler 1st down. Pittsburgh going, hurry up. They fake the run, toss to Claypool, and then he hurls a man and then goes down for a loss of 2 in the backfield. So slow it the hell down a little bit. You got a ton of time with 2 timeouts still here in this first half. You only trail by 6. It's not like you're down by 50 and you know you're not going to be able to come back and win this game. It's, for fuck's sake, it's the first half, 8:24 to play. You only trail by 6 and you've only given up 2 field goals. It's not like you gave up a big touchdown and they missed the extra point. 2 field goals. Texans take a 14-7 lead at Cleveland. That's a surprise, especially after they put up almost 40 on Jacksonville at home last week. And the Browns almost beat the Chiefs, but ended up coming out on the losing end. And speaking of Houston and Cleveland, we got an update. Tyrod Taylor with a rushing touchdown. So 14-7 Houston over Cleveland is 3-0 Philly over San Fran. Jacksonville 7-3 over Denver as well. Pittsburgh, in the meantime, from the 46-yard line, has a 3rd down and 8 to go. Roethlisberger out of the gun with Harris to his left. Ben gonna go deep near side. Caught. Deontay Johnson right in the breadbasket for him. However, there is a penalty flag on the play. I believe it was on the coverage. We'll see if it's going to be on the offense or defense, though. It's going to be on the Raiders. Illegal contact, penalties declined, 1st down Pittsburgh with the completion from Roethlisberger to Johnson. So inside the red zone, Pittsburgh knocking on the door. Gets over field goal, so be it, but that's a questionable call. That's a questionable call, honestly. But Roethlisberger right on the money to DJ 18, and we'll see if they can punch it in for 6 and make it 7 with an extra point. So 1st and goal now officially from the 5-yard line. Run the damn ball. They audible. Roethlisberger under center now in the gun with 2 receivers top and bottom of your screen respectively. We'll hand off to Najee Harris up the gut, and he gets 2 to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal from the 3, with 7:03 to play in this first half.
That's twice people take exception to Jonathan Abram. I'm just going to let everyone know. You're going to take exception to Jonathan Abram a lot. He's going to be wrapped around a lot of ball carriers. That's his game. Tackling people. Being physical. And he's going to play all the way through. Throws a line back.
Second and goal, Pittsburgh, empty set, 5 wide. You're going to audible again now. Under center is Big Ben Roethlisberger. Juju in motion, end around to him, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Boswell's extra point will take the lead, but it's right now tied up at 6. Kendrick Green, the rookie center out of Illinois, with the spike. And, of course, myself didn't like they were, for a few plays there, going hurry up. You know, like I said, slow it down because they ended up losing a few yards on the previous end around. But then they keep the drive alive, got a penalty in their favor as well, and then an end around works in their favor for a touchdown to end this drive, to tie it up at 6, and hoping to make it 7-6 now, which Boswell does just that. The Steelers now lead with 6:25 to play in this first half by a score of 7-6. So at least on defense, it's old school smash mouth football right now, it seems like. We'll see what defense bends but doesn't break as these offenses are starting to come alive here towards halftime. But still a lot of football left to be played. You know, we'll see what gives. Something will, as always. But now, in the meantime, we're at home with Baker Mayfield with his yard sale, as the Eagles on defense as well make a big stop to hold San Fran as they still lead. The Eagles do, as the 49ers trail, score 3-0. So, like I said, at least we're getting a little bit more action in this Raiders-Steeler game. I should probably, shut up, a little less talk, see a little bit more action with these two teams today. But, hey, that's live watch-along reactions, and thanks for tuning in and listening. Of course, audio only. That's why, of course, you see the current black screen in front of you. But we got the silver and black. We got the black and gold. Decided on an audio only. And what way, other than the current way I'm doing it, to do it is, hey, we go from the black hole in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, the new one at least, to the Steel City, and black on black on black, and a black screen for your viewing pleasure. But thank you once again for tuning in and watching, listening to my live watch-along reactions of some NFL Week 2 action with the Raiders and Steelers. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share, hashtag NFL, hashtag Raiders, hashtag Steelers. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. Back from commercial break. Raiders going to get the football back, as normally when these two teams meet, it's close. It always comes down to the wire. I know on a few occasions, both teams, of course, yes, have put it down on their opponent and not necessarily blown them out by any means, but won by a good margin. But like I said a bit ago, this is the first meeting in a few years. So history being made because it's first ever meeting technically with the Las Vegas Raiders and Pittsburgh Steelers, even though it's still Raiders and Steelers, and the Raiders are still the Raiders because they just moved from Oakland, as they did from Oakland to LA back to Oakland, now moving to Vegas. So, of course, in their second season in the desert, but as we see some highlights actually from the Monday night game win that they had at home against the Ravens last Monday night, that was their first home game with fans. And it seemed like nobody really wanted to win that game. What a hell of a game it was. And the Raiders ended up coming back and picking up the win. And both teams entering week 2 today for this matchup with the Raiders and Steelers at 1-0 apiece. But right now, after that Steeler touchdown, the black and gold lead the silver and black by 1. 7-6. Bears still 7-0 at home over the Bengals.
Yeah, they got used to doing that, didn't they? You know, going against their practice. It's described by many down there. Their practice sessions are like it's fourth and goal, fourth and one every day. Great intensity. I want to see if the Raiders, without Josh Jacobs, how much John Wood wants to mix and match running into Peyton Barber.
New England leads at the Jets 10-3 as well.
Everyone else is a stand-up guy. He was daring you to try to
Big first down pickup for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know if it's... Ooh, nice big hit from Robert Spillane. No penalty flag on that one, as he hits a spear on Renfro right at midfield. As Carr, pass was caught and completed to Renfro, and then Spillane, boom. Nice big hit on defense, but it was enough for a first down, so first down Raiders. I was going to say, I don't know if it's still too early to tell if Jalen Hurts is the guy in Philly, but he's playing well once again today, and the Eagles have a first and goal. They still lead 3-0. So I'll digress on some scores for the time being, just because nothing has really changed since the last time I checked in. Carr, in the meantime, nice back shoulder pass complete for another Raider first down before Joe Schobert, 93, makes the stop. Another 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the 27-yard line. Carr under center. Dropping back, has a man again, and it's going to fall incomplete. Good coverage by none other than, guess who, number 93, Joe Schobert. Former Brown and most recently Jacksonville Jaguar. Pittsburgh had to give up a draft pick for him, but of course the Steelers in the offseason lost Bud Dupree for agency to the Titans. And okay, signed TJ Watt, Devin Bush back from injury, but he's out today. And then you still have Highsmith and Spillane. You signed Melvin Ingram in free agency as well. But then, you know, other than that, depth-wise, with experience, I mean, it was probably a good idea that they did trade for a linebacker and ended up being Joe Schobert. And he's played well, I've thought, so far for the Pittsburgh defense. Pass complete to number 89. That's Brian Edwards, who came on strong late last week in the second half and an overtime for the Raiders. Almost had the game winner before that was caught by Zay Jones. But 6 yards from Carr to Edwards brings up a 3rd and 4. TJ Watt hobbling to the sideline in the meantime too. Probably a hamstring injury if I had to guess, but now 3rd and 4 for the Raiders from the 22-yard line. 3:33 to play in this first half. And then pass complete to Renfro. Justin Lane, 31 out of Michigan State on the stop. However, 5 yards on the completion. That's good enough for a Raider first down. They'll move the sticks inside the 20 now.
Renfro driving forward, and Lane takes him across the fence. He gives him a little open assist to pick up the first down. He had to get him on the ground, but Renfro's strength at getting upfield forced Lane to make that extra turn on it, and he actually gained additional yardage.
See what the Raiders can do here, as they'll get the ball to begin the second half as well. If they can, you know, punch it in, retake the lead, hand off Peyton Barber, retake the lead before halftime. Pittsburgh 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. We're nearing that right now, so not going to be in their favor. Second down for the Raiders, but you know, maybe if they can do something real quick before halftime, if they do in fact get the ball back, which right now it's a maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how these next few plays go. But on the flip side of all this now, it's going to be a dogfight into the third and fourth quarters. It seems like, with the way this first half's gone, the way these defenses are playing, low scoring as it is, 7-6. The Raiders call a timeout with 2:10 to play, so they'll have a 2nd and 12 out of the break. plus 2-minute warning to come as well. But just get this game for both teams right now to the second half and figure something out at that point in time and then go from there. So that's why, of course, I always like, hey, if you win the coin toss, you defer, you kick off, you get the ball to begin the second half, because you don't know how the first half's going to go. Because you might even, whether you're up or not, you might be down by a lot, and you might need, something to get back into it. And with this game as close as it is, the thing is, on top of that now, too, Raiders are going to get the football. If they score now, they'll still get the football to begin the second half, and then Pittsburgh could be down a few scores for real then at that point. So a couple men in motion, 83 Waller, 13 Renfro, 2nd and 12 from the 19 for the Raiders. Dump off in the flat, far side, complete to 23 Kenyon Drake. He gets out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down. And now, with 2 minutes to play, 2-minute warning, Raiders knocking on the door. They trail by a point still. It's 7-6 Steelers. So we got a good one cooking in the Steel City with the silver and black and the black and gold. And once more, thank you for tuning in and listening today. Audio only, of course. But coming up at halftime, first half stats and scores, with also taking a look around the rest of the NFL as well. So see if Vegas can punch it in. If not, I mean, if Pittsburgh holds here on 3rd down, I'd call timeout. Call 1 or 2 timeouts, make them kick. Then you got 1 timeout and a minute and probably 50 seconds or so to get a drive going to hopefully score some more points before halftime on your end then as well. But well, all that being said, once again, that's why I play games. So we'll see what happens here. But be interesting, no doubt, say the least, to see what Gruden calls up and what they end up running, and if they can, whether it's they keep the drive alive, just pick up 1st down, or end up scoring, and then Pittsburgh gets the football back. Who knows? Because I don't think anybody really knows what's coming. I mean, if I had to guess, it's going to be Derek Carr probably just going to dump it off over the middle, because Josh Jacobs is out injured today with a foot injury. Last week he was questionable with an illness, played, scored a few touchdowns. Those 2 touchdowns he had last Monday night, the Raiders aren't getting from him today because he's out. But, whether it's going to be Drake or Peyton Barber, I feel just with the way the Raiders have been calling plays today, and from watching that game last Monday night and having the honor of calling that as well, they'll run. They could run a reverse. They probably won't, though, because Pittsburgh's known to do that in the red zone, and that's how they scored their touchdown a bit ago as well, with Hughes Smith-Schuster reaching the end zone. They could go, to one of their few receivers deep. I feel like it's just going to be a dump off, though. But keep an eye out for Darren Waller, number 83, over the middle on this 3rd and 9 for the Raiders from the 16-yard line. Keep an eye out from Darren Waller, as with 2 minutes to play, we're back, and it's complete to guess who? Number 83, Darren Waller. And I'm sure everybody can hear some of the commentary from CBS as well in the background. So, no, I didn't have that pause and watch the previous play and then, hit play again and, okay, just telling you beforehand, this is what's coming up, this is what's going to happen. No, that's exactly what just happened. But he's still short of the line to gain. It's 4th and short. 4th and inches. They might measure. They're going to bring the chain gang out for a measurement. He's going to be a yard short. And now TJ Watt is questionable to return with as thought, a groin injury because he was hobbling off and hasn't been back in the game since. So now Pittsburgh's down 2 linebackers and a defensive lineman today, along with a corner in Joe Hayden. So it's turned to injury city, and now we're, a good yard short for the Raiders. 4th and 1, 1:38 to play in this first half. See if they go forward or end up kicking it to take a 9-7 lead. The thing is, too, you can't settle for field goals. They already have 2 of them. Hey, third time might be a charm. And then you get something going on offense in the second half and finally punch it in. But when you got a 4th and 1, really 5 shots to punch it in with a minute and a half to play before halftime, if you pick it up here to extend your lead, and then you also get the ball to begin the second half, I mean, more power to you. And they're just going to sneak it. And Carr's going to get a first down. So, perfect play call. 1st and goal now from the 5-yard line, it looks like. And now if they don't punch it in, if they don't score a touchdown here, that's going to be a big failure here. But they still, in the end, still have to settle for a field goal too. So, see if the Steeler defense can bring the steel curtain down or not. But Carr under center, going to hand off Kenyon Drake. Drake gets to the 2-yard line. 2nd goal under a minute to play in this first half. Halftime report coming up. First half stats and scores. Along with taking a look around the rest of the NFL as well. So stay tuned. But yeah, more power to the Raiders if they can, punch this in. Of course, converting a 4th down there. Score here before halftime. Pittsburgh's going to get the ball back now for sure. And unless, of course, we get a pick 6 or something along those lines. But then extend the lead. Got a false start, though, in the meantime on the Raider offensive line. But then they're also going to get the ball to begin the second half. So see what the penalty flag is. False start on the former UCLA Bruin, number 74, Colton Miller. And they're going to take a timeout rather than take a 10-second runoff. So they will still have 22 seconds, but now only 1 timeout rather than 2 timeouts in 12 seconds. Just to give themselves some more time. Still 2nd and goal, but 5 yards, of course, on the false start does back them up a little bit. But now, of course, as we come back from the penalty, what does John Gruden have in store for the Steeler defense? What is Derek Carr going to do at quarterback? I mean, he could do a simple dump off once again. Maybe back to Waller. The Raiders are working a 2-3 tight end set today. And pass over the middle, caught, touchdown Raiders. That's the number 89, Brian Edwards, who had the game winner last week again. Of course, it was overturned because he was down at the goal line. They threw the interception. Ravens fumbled then, and then, Zay Jones found pay dirt for 6, and that's how the game was won. But in the meantime, there's now no touchdown on the play because there's a penalty on the field, and it's coming back. And the Raiders are now going to have a 2nd and goal again because they'll replay the down. However, they're going to be backed up even further than that. And what was it? A hold? A holding on the Raiders. So now, from the 18-yard line with 18 seconds to play, they got a 2nd and goal still, and it's still 7-6. No touchdown from Carr to Edwards. That gets taken off the board. Carr on a fade near side. Front pylon incomplete. Intended for 83, Darren Waller. 3rd and goal. They might, if they don't, of course, score here on 3rd and goal and don't go for it, which they won't now because they're backed up near 20 on 4th and goal. Having to settle for another field goal after all this, I'd be completely pissed off. I would. Gruden is for sure, and the rest of the Raiders are as well because that's just the Raiders for you. But when you had something going and you had 6 and then you just shot yourselves in the foot, I mean, there's not really much else you can do. There's not. Pass complete. It is number 89, Brian Edwards. Another penalty flag on the call. And what do we got here? There's only 6 seconds. The Raiders have a timeout. Now we got an ineligible man downfield. Anything and everything the Raiders could have done wrong on this drive, they have done. And that's the second penalty on Colton Miller on this drive. Within the past few plays, they had a touchdown. They did. And now they're just going to have to kick it on 3rd and goal. Kick a field goal. Not punt like Penn State did last night because the refs made them when it was really 3rd down, but they thought it was 4th down. This, for sure, is 3rd and goal. There's not a whole lot of time left, though, so 6 seconds. And the Raiders are going to kick a field goal for the 3rd time this afternoon to try to retake the lead at the half, 9-7, but it's 7-6 right now, Steelers on top. Timeout, Las Vegas. You can hear Gruden laying into the officials. And yeah, you could hear him word for word everything he just said. Because they're just not able to punch it in right now. They're not. I mean, it is frustrating, no doubt about it, but then when the refs are killing you on the flip side of it, you know, like, what can you do? I mean, other than argue it and, you know, make sure this, you know, doesn't happen all fucking game. You better not be calling a fucking penalty on every fucking play and, you know, fuck this, fuck that for John Gruden to the Zebras. I mean, they're still going to kick a field goal here. 3rd and goal. Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts. We'll see if they ice Carlson, but he's already been good from 46 and 33. This from 41 yards out. And kick just barely sneaks in. It's up and good. 9-7 now, Raiders, with 2 seconds to play. So we'll probably have a squib kick or even a touchback. Pittsburgh's just going to take a knee and head on to the half. Down 9-7, I'd say, with the Raiders leading. So, of course, they settle for 3 field goals in the first half. They lead by 2, 9-7. But, you know, just think if Carlson would have missed that kick, how bad this drive, looking back on it, came out to be in fruition. That, like, just everything that went wrong for him, just continuing to back him up. Anything and everything that could have went wrong for him did, and they had a touchdown. They did. Of course, once again, just as did to close the game last week before they ended up winning, but they threw a pick in between, and there was a fumble after that as well. Touchdown gets taken off the board, and I mean, at least they didn't end with nothing. At least they got another 3 and they retook the lead. But once again, you cannot settle for field goals. So in both of these games I'm currently watching now, we got 2 defensive showdowns. We got almost at the half. Pittsburgh can get the ball back, but not going to be able to do anything with 2 seconds. It's going to be 9-7 Raiders leading at the half at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then San Fran is still trailing against Philadelphia Eagles 3-0. So I've seen a few of these other scores now from a few of these other games. I mean, I know I said a little bit ago, at least we're getting some action now, but it sort of slowed down once again. And I mean, that was a damn good drive by the Raiders. It was. And they had a touchdown, of course, it got taken off the board, but you know, at least they didn't end with nothing. At least they got 3, I guess, in their favor. But and they're going to get the ball to begin the second half as well. I might add that. I know I've said a few times now, but so Steeler defense going to be out there a lot to close out this first half and begin the second half. So by the time the Steelers get the football back, Roethlisberger on offense going to be touching the ball for the first time in quite a while whenever that does in fact happen. And I'm not counting now because it's 2 seconds. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. Update on Fox with the Panthers at home shutting out the Saints, who blew out the Packers last week. So, yeah, it's only one game. You move on. But the Panthers, they lead 17-0 over the New Orleans Saints in the NFC South. Also in the NFC South today, later on, we'll have the Buccaneers host the Falcons as well, the team the Eagles beat last week. The Cowboys, who lost to the Bucs, they play out in LA against the Chargers later on. Kickoff return from McLeod gets to 24, but that does it for the first half. As at halftime, the visiting silver and black Las Vegas Raiders, who will also receive the second half kickoff, they lead the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 9-7 with 3 field goals. One from 46 yards, one from 33 yards, and one from 41 yards out from Daniel Carlson. Pittsburgh Steelers, Roethlisberger, has a passing touchdown as well. It was actually on an end around, so a handoff to number 19, Juju Smith-Schuster, as he walked in from a few yards out. And that's where we sit at 9-7 at halftime with the Raiders and Steelers. So, first half stats and the scores with the silver and black and gold respectively. And then also taking a look around the rest of the NFL in the meantime. First off, Vegas and Pittsburgh at halftime, 9-7 in this battle of two 1-0 teams to kick off week 2. As Steelers went to Buffalo and won last Sunday afternoon. The Raiders last Monday night won at home as well against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens in action later on tonight at home against the Chiefs. Touchdown 49ers in the meantime as well. They take their first lead of the afternoon on the road at the Eagles now 7-3. But halftime, Raiders, Steelers 9-7 your score. Derek Carr is 12-16 for 119 passing yards. Derek Carr also has 4 carries for 9 yards on the ground. Kenyon Drake, 3 for 6. Peyton Barber, 4 for 4. So the Raiders really do not have a rushing game whatsoever right now. I mean, at least Najee Harris does have 7 carries for 30 yards for Pittsburgh on the ground, but the Steelers don't have a running game really whatsoever on their end of things either. So defensive showdown, low scoring right now. Go back to the basics. Start with around the football, open the play action, and then open the playbook from there. Of course, Roethlisberger with an interception. Raiders did capitalize with their first field goal, take an early 3-0 lead. So, I mean, really, if he doesn't throw that pick, it's 7-6 right now if everything else goes the way it did. But at least they're not giving up, 3 touchdowns, and they're trailing 21-7 right now. The Steelers only gave up 3 field goals, and they only trailed by 2, 9-7. So, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. Hopefully nothing gets ugly by any means, but we'll see if special teams or any more turnovers or if the refs are going to try to control the game by any means or not in the second half, but hopefully not. But at the half, it is 9-7 Raiders leading the Steelers. The Raiders and Steelers receiving cores, Hunter Renfrow leads the way with 4 catches, 34 yards, whereas with Pittsburgh, Deontay Johnson has 4 catches for 70 yards. Raiders also, Morneau has a catch for 25 yards. Drake has a few catches for about the same yardage as well. Henry Ruggs only a catch for 13 yards. Derek Carrier, 1 for 9. Darren Waller, 1 for 8. And then Brian Edwards has a catch for 6 yards, but he should have another catch for a touchdown as well. But, of course, they got taken off the board, and the Raiders had to settle for another field goal there right before halftime. Ben Roethlisberger on the flip side, as both quarterbacks as well have been sacked 1 time apiece. Big Ben is 12-17 for 122 passing yards, and that interception, Trayvon Mullen. Also, Najee Harris, as mentioned, has 7 carries for 30 yards on the ground, where he has a catch for 9 yards out of the backfield as well. But Deontay Johnson, 4 for 70 receiving. Juju Smith-Schuster, 6 of 41 receiving as well. Claypool, 1 of 2. They've gone to Ebron once on a target, but no catch for him. Benny Snell has a carry, but 1 only play for him the whole entire season thus far. They need to not necessarily spread it out a little bit more, but just space out who they're giving the football to. As I said earlier, don't be giving it to the same guy play after play after play unless you're running the football. Maybe a trick play for one of these two teams in this second half as well, as we see some highlights now with both games at the half. The Browns hosting the Texans are all tied at 14. The Bears hosting the Bengals, they lead by 7. The Rams lead the Colts on the road as Peyton Manning is back in the home that he built. The Panthers lead the Saints as well, 17-0. These are just highlights. We're going to get into scores and everything as I look at them momentarily. But then Denver leading Jacksonville. Got a few games already now beginning the second half, with NFL halftimes about 10-15 minutes long, depending on the day. Buffalo leading Miami. Dolphins going to need Dan Marino to come back and play quarterback for him after that hit by the Bills on Tua Tagovailoa, who is now out injured, carted off, which isn't a good sign for them. We also saw some highlights with the Patriots and Jets and 49ers and Eagles. And then other than that, there's no other current games currently ongoing in the National Football League this 1 o'clock window. But also at the half, as mentioned, yes, the Patriots lead the Jets 13-3, which ain't that big of a surprise. The Jets are still the goddamn New York fucking Jets, Jets. Big surprise, though, I'd say, with Carolina, at least 17-0 at the half, leading New Orleans the way the Saints played last week. But same time, with the Packers hosting the Lions tomorrow night Monday Night Football, it's just one game. And especially with this expanded season, 18 weeks, 17 regular season games, and the expanded playoffs, 14 of the 32 teams going to make it on their way to Super Bowl 56 out in LA next February. It's a long season. It's only one game. You move on. It's still early in a lot of these games. Like I said, for the most part, all these games are at halftime. I know there's a few, one or two. I know the Rams, Colts just began second half, as did, or actually just that game. Just that game. It is early third quarter now. So those are your at least first half stats and scores for the Raiders and Steelers, and seeing these highlights and some scores on screen side by side, watching both CBS and Fox right now with the Raiders-Steeler matchup and the 49er-Eagle game as well, also at the half right now with CBS, JB, Jim Brown, Phil Simms, Boomer Esiason, Nate Burleson, and the finally enshrined Hall of Famer himself, head coach Bill Cowher of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a former Steeler as well, Hall of Famer in his own doing, with Kurt Menefee, that's Terry Bradshaw I'm speaking of, on Fox, with a couple other Hall of Famers as well, Howie Long and Michael Strahan. Two of those four former Steelers and Raiders. Of course, now we'll begin the second half momentarily with the Raiders and Steelers coming up shortly. But as mentioned, those are in fact your first half stats and scores from the silver and black and gold matchup. But currently, also in the National Football League, with these following games I'm about to name off first, still to come later on this afternoon and tonight with Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football tomorrow night. We still have Vikings-Cardinals to kick off, along with Falcons and Buccaneers, along with the Titans and Seahawks, which should be a good game. We'll see if Tennessee can rebound from losing to another NFC West team at home last week in Arizona or not, as they travel to the Emerald City of Seattle. I'd say Arizona is going to beat Minnesota, even though the Vikings, I wouldn't be shocked if they pick up a win there. Just especially Arizona's coming off of a big win, first home game. Of course, Half the league opened up on the road last week. Half the league, they still haven't opened up at home. Home openers today. But, yeah, currently, other than Rams, Colts, everything else is at halftime. But still to come, as mentioned, Vikings, Cardinals, Falcons, Buccaneers, Titans, Seahawks. Cowboys, Chargers should be a good one from Inglewood. And then Sunday Night Football is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Monday night, tomorrow night, Lions, Packers. Live watch longer actions, live right here on YouTube. Then tomorrow night for WWE Monday Night Raw, along with NFL Monday Night Football as well. In a battle of two 0-1 teams with the Lions and Packers following losses against 49ers and Saints, with the 49ers the only team between San Fran and New Orleans currently winning at halftime today. But then also, we'll get back to this matchup with two 1-0 teams right now in the Raiders and Steelers, as I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that other than San Fran and Philly and Vegas and Pittsburgh, well, actually New Orleans and Carolina as well, because Panthers won last week, if I'm not mistaken as well, yes. Those three games are the only three 1-0 games this weekend in week 2. Because that's a 1-0, 0-1 matchup. That is also a 1-0, 0-1 matchup. Talking about Bengals, Bears, Texans, Browns. Rams, Colts, the same. Bills, Dolphins, the same. Whereas right now, Miami's still in first place in the East, but they trail at the half without Tua Tagovailoa now. So who the hell's playing quarterback for them is a big question. So you can start the Deshaun Watson rumors once more. Maybe even Cam Newton, because he just got cut by another team in the East, in New England, and doesn't seem like Washington's going to be signing him anytime soon. So I wouldn't mind seeing Cam Newton in Miami, especially if Tua is going to be out for a little while. You really won't have to change a whole lot on offense, I would think. But at the same time, do you want Cam Newton playing quarterback for you? That's the big question. But yeah, that's also a 1-0, 0-1 matchup because the Bills lost, the Dolphins won. That was last week, of course. And then both New England and the Jets are 0-1 apiece. Yeah, so there's only right now 3, and that's all week as well. Because, yeah, after week 1, that's right, yeah. This game with Vegas and Pittsburgh about to kick off in the second half. And then San Fran and Philly and New Orleans and Carolina. Those are the only, and I get it's still early in the season, but those are the only 3 1-0 games, 3 best games, I guess you could say, all week. But even though, I mean, Sunday Night Football is going to be a good one tonight. It's Kansas City and Baltimore. Monday night's going to be a good one tomorrow night, too, with Rodgers and the Pack hosting the Lions. But, yeah, still to kick off, once again, Vikings, Cardinals, Falcons, Buccaneers, Titans, Seahawks, along with the Cowboys and Chargers. And then the Chiefs visit the Ravens. But so far already in week 2, of course, which kicked off this past Thursday, the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins, or where the hell their nickname is going to be starting next year, they won on a game-winning field goal, defeated Big Blue and the New York Football Giants by 130-29. And then as all these games that were at halftime, now all beginning the second half, we got some scores with Chicago leading Cincinnati 7-0. The Texans and Browns all tied with 14 apiece. Rams now lead the Colts by 11, 17-6. Bills 14-0 at Miami over the Dolphins. A few games still at halftime. Raiders and Steelers about to kick off, but also currently at the half, the Patriots lead the Jets 13-3 with 3 Zach Wilson interceptions to the Patriot defense. So no wonder they lead by 10. Belichick against rookie quarterbacks. That'll be the talk of the town tomorrow once they pick up the win day, unless they find a way to lose it, but Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, unstoppable. The 49ers lead the Eagles 7-3 at the half as well, as we're back in the second half with the Raiders and Steelers with a touchback, 1st and 10, silver and black from 25-yard line, but Panthers also lead the Saints 17-0 at the half as well. Broncos 10-7 over the Jaguars from Duval. So those are your first half stats and scores from the first half of Raiders Steelers, along with taking a look around the rest of the National Football League as well. But in the meantime, thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Technically listening today, audio only, live watch along reactions of Raiders and Steelers as we're underway now in the second half. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Carr over the middle, complete to Darren Waller for 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share, hashtag NFL, hashtag Raiders, hashtag Steelers. Keep those chat questions and comments rolling. And hopefully we'll tune in tomorrow night as well for live watch long reactions with a side-by-side of football and professional wrestling. Out of the eye, Robert Spillane coming up big today in Devin Bush's absence, bringing down Peyton Barber in the backfield for a loss of about 2, maybe 3 yards, depending on the spot. We'll see where they gave him forward progress at. But it was a simple handoff from Derek Carr to Peyton Barber. Spillane met him right there as soon as he got the give, and now 3rd and 4 officially, so a loss of 3 on the play as we begin this third quarter of play. Raiders lead 9-7 at Pittsburgh. Over the middle, slant complete. That is to number 17, the former Raven and Saint receiver, Willie Snead, who did absolutely nothing last Monday night. So his first catch of the season here this afternoon in this game as we begin the second half. Slant over the middle, caught for a big Raider first down. Ball at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Trips in a bunch near side. Raiders right to left. Steelers left to right across your television screen, radio, and audio dial, if you can picture that in your head. Over the middle, 10 for Ruggs, incomplete. Batted down, deflected at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Kicked off in the second half here as well with the 49ers and Eagles. So a 2-point lead for the visitors from the Bay Area, now in the desert. A 4-point lead from the only team remaining in the Bay Area, out in California, and the 49ers, as both visitors lead on the road both Pennsylvania teams here week 2 in the National Football League. Handoff, Kenyon Drake. Nice tackle there by, once again, number 41, Big Bob Robert Spillane, as he came alive last season when Devin Bush went down with an injury mid-October. Remember that Raven game? Had a few big stops at the goal line for the Steeler defense. Filling in for Bush once again today with another injury. Making a few big stops as well. Had a penalty called on him earlier, but they called on Highsmith for some unknown reason because they can't read numbers, but those are the officials for you. Carr motioning receivers to keep running, go deep, I gotcha. But then he just dumps it off the near side right at the sticks. And it's going to fall incomplete on 3rd and 9. 10 for number 23, Kenyon Drake. So 4th down. And the Raiders with a quick, not 3 and out. They did pick up first down, but a very quick 2.5-minute drive to begin the second half as the Steelers are going to get the football back here early to begin the second half. And for some reason, the Bills-Dolphins is still not at halftime. They're still in the first half. So that game has to be the last game still playing in the first half right now. But we did have an injury with Tua in that matchup earlier. Fair catch from the 12. 1st and 10, black and gold on offense from there when we return. So we'll see what the diagnosis is for Tua and the Miami quarterback himself. and what they'll do moving forward. Of course, they did sign Jacoby Brissett in free agency, and he's a good, reliable quarterback. So back to, because I just brought up, okay, go out and sign Cam Newton, because I know it's going to get talked about if Tua is going to be out for a few weeks, or hell, if he's out for the season, because it's going to come down to, well, who's going to give you the better chance to win? Jacoby Brissett, who's won in New England and Indianapolis before, filling in, of course, for both Tom Brady and Andrew Luck, or is it going to be Cam Newton, who's won an MVP in his past? But that was also 6 years ago when he was in Carolina with the Panthers. Of course, they caught him. Matt Rule got the job. They lead New Orleans at home by a large margin right now, as mentioned a little bit ago. And then you also had Cam last year in New England for a year before they surprisingly cut him, but not really that big of a surprise, to close out the training camp and preseason start to the season before the regular season, of course, here. But when you have a rookie quarterback, and you know Mac Jones is going to be the future, you know Cam Newton's going to be there, not going to be there. You would have thought, okay, maybe he'd be there backing him up, but they're not going to be paying him for what he's not going to be doing, you know, especially when you have, and that's just Belichick for you, the Patriot way, a good, reliable backup quarterback and Brian Hoyer backing him up. So we'll see, of course, because the Bills and Dolphins are still not at the half, 14-0 Buffalo. And hell, that might be bonus coverage after this, just because that game's going to be on a little bit longer. But we'll, of course, see, as always, what happens in these games, because, you know, flat out, we don't know unless we watch them, because that's why they play the games, folks. Plain and simple. And now TJ Watt is going to be officially rolled out for the remainder of the game with a groin injury. So he's on the sideline now in street clothes, which ain't a good sign. Hopefully he'll be good to go next week, as Pittsburgh will host the Bengals at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube. Then as well, Ben going to go deep down the near sideline, has Claypool at midfield, incomplete. Good coverage by Mullen again, trying to pick off Roethlisberger for the second time today. And incomplete, 2nd and 10. And, of course, now, TJ Watt injured. Talk's going to be, well, why the hell did you pay him? You should have waited. But, you know, they paid his ass, rightfully so, with as good of a player he is. Should have won NFL Defensive Player of the Year last year, if you ask himself. But, of course, that went to another former Pitt product and Aaron Donald of the Rams. But Deontay Johnson on a bubble screen, far side, gets out of bounds, I don't know, after a pickup of about 5 or 6. We'll see where they spot it, but it'll be 3rd down and medium for the Steeler offense here. Of course, audio only. Hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Once more, thank you for tuning in and watching. So that's, of course, why you see the black screen with the silver and black and gold going toe-to-toe in the NFL today, kickoff week 2. But yes, audio only, live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube right now. So 3rd and 5 after the completion. Ben looking to throw over the middle, caught, and that's the number 88, Pat Freiermuth. And just like Heath, we have the Muth, the former Penn State Nittany Lion tight end. Nittany Lions finally went to their new tight ends last night as well, and their win at home against Auburn, 28-20. So the fans already loving the rookie tight end out of Penn State, number 88. In Pat Freiermuth, the Massachusetts native, who they drafted in the 2nd round after they took Najee Harris in the 1st round, who got the give on that carry, only a yard on the pickup, 2nd and 9. Ben looking to throw. Gonna take a sack back at the 29 for a loss of 4. 3rd and a mile. But hey, we'll see what happens here. So had all day to throw. Was gonna go deep. Wasn't there. Didn't get rid of it in time to want to throw away. I had to take a sack. But once again, good coverage by the Raiders. Nobody's open downfield. Nobody whatsoever. But yeah, Steelers with tight ends. Of course, had Heath Miller out of Virginia for how long? He retired. Jesse James caught it, and it was a touchdown against the Patriots. He's now in Chi-Town with the Bears following his departure from the Steelers a few years ago. Signed with the Lions, but now in Chicago as they lead 7-3 over the Bengals, who the Steelers play next week. And then the Bears will come in on a Monday night in November. It'll be 4th down following an incompletion. And the Steelers, just as the Raiders did to begin the second half, they will also punt. So 9-7 is your score. The Raiders leading the Steelers with Presley Harvin on to punt. Blue suede shoes down inside the 10-yard line, return to about the 18. So 1st and 10, the Raiders from there with 9:11 to play in this 3rd quarter. But once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. Watching, listening. Of course, I'm used to saying watching because it's normally an actual video feed, but a black screen with audio only this afternoon. So thank you once again for tuning in and listening. But now, after, Heath Miller and Jesse James, brought Eric Ebron in last year, played well. Both him and Deontay Johnson hopefully learned how to catch this past offseason. And now they drafted Freiermuth out of Penn State, and they have a two-headed monster tight end, as mentioned earlier, with Ebron and Freiermuth. And then, like I said, too, good to see number 81, Zach Gentry, the former Michigan quarterback, dressed today, playing tight end as well. So, and even with the Raiders, like I said, on the flip side, too, both teams running 2-3 tight end sets right now in this game. And no wonder it's a low-scoring 9-7 defensive showdown right now. As Pittsburgh is a home, I believe it set at 5.5-point favorite, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna have to check on that. I mean, it really doesn't matter as long as they pick up the win in the end. Tua has a rib injury. He's questionable to return, as he, of course, was carted off. But yeah, we'll have to see how this game plays out moving forward. And as thought last night, okay, the college football AP Top 25 poll would be out, around 2 p.m. Eastern time. Well, here we are, almost 3. I'm just now saying it. Do have some movement in the top 10 as thought. I believe the top 10 is going to be staying put, though, with the same 10 teams, if I'm not mistaken. But, maybe some moving around with really from 3 to 10. The Alabama and Georgia staying at 1 and 2. We'll see if we can get this pulled up here, as it's for some reason taking a little while, but of course they have to bring up the immaculate reception with the Raiders and Steelers, and yes, it was a catch, but Derek Carr said this past week that no, it wasn't. Of course, just trying to get people fired up for the game today. And Carr, in the meantime, 1st and 10, pass complete over the middle to number 89, Brian Edwards, who had a touchdown, but it was taken off the board earlier. 2 historical franchises, yes, no doubt about it. Steelers have 11 more postseason wins compared to the Raiders, 36-25. Both have won a combined total of 9 Super Bowls, with Pittsburgh having 6 of those 9, for everyone's favorite number. If you take out the middle, but 1st and 10 now from the 36. Carr, a dump off, complete to Drake. And Drake for 9. 2nd and short.
Where it really stood out was out around the 2-yard line where Jacobs would have been the guy inside the red zone. And then a couple of penalties back them up. They have to settle for a field goal. They didn't even try it. If he's there, it's a minimum of 2 carries for Jacobs, maybe 3. Right? But now, the way John
So yes, Pittsburgh is a 5.5 point favorite at home. Over-unders at 47. But right now, neither of those is going to come to fruition. In the meantime, Melvin Ingram, number 8 at linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know it's odd seeing a number 8 or just a single digit on defense in the National Football League. But with the new NFL ruling on players can wear basically any number they want in this range for whatever position you are. Melvin Ingram now stepping up on defense in absence of both TJ Watt and Devin Bush, just like Schobert and Spillane have earlier. Can't forget about Alex Highsmith and Marcus Allen, though. But 3rd and 9, Carr over the middle, nice pass, even better catch at the 40 by Renfro. He's turned it into like the next Brandon Stokely, next Wes Welker type of wide receiver. And he picks up another big Raider 1st down. Had a couple catches last week. A couple big catches, I might add, last week. And actually, he caught the game-winning touchdown for Clemson in the national championship game a few years ago from Deshaun Watson against Alabama. And now Watson's not even playing. He is, but he isn't because of legal issues right now. Tyrod Taylor is starting quarterback in Houston. And Hunter Renfro's emerging as a go-to receiver in the National Football League with the Raiders. And speaking of we're actually going to hold off on discussing this real quick, but we'll wait till the next commercial break. Already midway through the 3rd here. Triple nickel to play. 2nd and 9, complete over the middle to Ruggs. He breaks a few tackles before being brought down inside the 10-yard line. Tackled by number 34, Terrell Edmonds at the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the silver and black. Just as I thought, okay, end of the 1st half, they get the ball to begin the 2nd half. Okay, both teams did punt on their opening drives in the 2nd half, but now the Raiders, 2nd time in the 2nd half, driving, looking to extend their lead. Can't settle for a field goal. They already have 3 of them, even though they lead by 2. You cannot settle for a field goal in a game like this. And Pittsburgh, on the flip side, once they get the ball back, they still have to get the running game going. Have to open up a little bit, especially if you're going to be down. But 1st and goal, Carr looking to throw, back corner, near side, and that is caught by number 87 of the Las Vegas Raiders as the silver and black score their 1st touchdown of the afternoon to make it 15-7. We'll see if they go for 1 or 2, though, to make it a 9 or 10 point game. However, in the meantime, number 4, Derek Carr, is now down injured. He is the starting quarterback for the Raiders. Their backup is former Pitt quarterback and Nathan Peterman, because Marcus Mariota is on IR following an injury last week on that carry for 31 yards. So this is not a good sign for the Raiders. If Derek Carr cannot continue to play, they'll throw Peterman in. That's a good sign, though, for the Steelers on defense. They'll bring pressure. It's not like Peterman hasn't won football games, though, in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. He played for Pitt, but Pitt also lost yesterday against Western Michigan. But when he was at Pitt, they were still average, because Pitt still eats shit. The Panthers, not the Steelers, but it doesn't look like Derek Carr is going to be coming back into this game anytime soon. He's down, laying on the field. They got to huddle up around him. Doctors checking him out. I believe it's a lower right leg injury, if I'm not mistaken. but he now gets up. He's going to try to walk this off. Knowing Derek Carr, as he does walk off, he'll be back out there on their next drive. Good thing they just scored to extend their lead, and they'll probably kick the extra point now rather than go for 2 to make it a 10-point, 17-7 lead. But 16-7, unless the Steelers get a safety, well, you're still up by 9 rather than 16-9 up by 7. So you're still up by not double digits, but 2 possessions. So Derek Carr just seems to have got the wind knocked out of him. He should be all right. He might be going into the locker room there right now. We'll see. And then if he comes back out, he comes back out. If not, it'll be Nathan Peterman. But that passing touchdown was to number 87, Foster Morneau. And in the meantime, Carlson's extra point is up and good. It is now 16-7 Raiders on the road, leading the Pittsburgh Steelers with 5:02 to play in this third quarter. Back to college football from last night. Speaking of the AP Top 25 poll. See if we have any new teams at the bottom. Yes, with Kansas State. Yes, with Fresno State, because they defeated UCLA. They jumped to 22. UCLA's at 24 now. Auburn only dropped a spot to 23. 8-point road loss in the whiteout. So they are still ranked in the top 25. Michigan State is ranked at 20, one behind Michigan at 19. But other than that, it doesn't seem like we have any newbies in the top 25 pool right now. Week 4 of college football next weekend. I'll have college football live watch long reactions, Villanova, Penn State next Saturday, along with the NFL next Sunday and pro wrestling next Sunday night and next Monday with the NFL as well. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe live right here on YouTube for some live watch along reactions in college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling. But the AP Top 25 poll right now with a commercial break at this 3 o'clock Eastern time. We have Alabama at 1, Georgia at 2. Oregon jumps to 3. Oklahoma is 4. Iowa 5. Penn State is now 6. Texas A&M 7. Cincinnati stays put at 8. Clemson 9. Ohio State drops to 10. Florida from 11 to 25. It is Florida, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Iowa State, and BYU, followed by Arkansas, Coastal Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State, North Carolina. What a game Fresno State UCLA was last night. Fresno State with a come-from-behind win, defeating the Bruins from the Rose Bowl. They're 22. Auburn's 23 now. UCLA and Kansas State round out the top 25. Speaking of that Fresno State UCLA game from last night as well, we also had in a nightcap, technically early this morning from the island of Hawaii, it was San Jose State and Hawaii, in which the Spartans defeated the Rainbow Warriors. That game kicked off at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time last night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Didn't finish up until about 4 a.m. 17-13 your final score there. Some other finals from last night: Fresno State 40-37 winners over UCLA, Iowa State 48-3 over UNLV, BYU at home 27-17 winners over Arizona State. Northern Arizona beat Arizona by 2, 21-19. Oklahoma State did win 21-20 over Boise. And then everything else we went over last night. But back to the action this NFL Week 2, 1 of 3, 1-0 games with the Raiders and Steelers, as the silver and black now lead the Steelers 16-7. Derek Carr should be good to go, I would think, their next drive following his injury scare there on that passing touchdown. 1st and 10, though, Steelers from the 17-yard line. Handoff Najee Harris for about 3, maybe 4 yards. 2nd down, Pittsburgh. And once again, thank you for tuning in and listening to this audio-only live watch long reaction live right here on YouTube today with the silver and black and gold, hence the black screen, live right here on YouTube. Also, right now, 49ers Eagles on Fox with San Fran holding on to their lead right now on the road. Freiermuth in motion, 2nd and 6 for Pittsburgh from the 21. Ben gonna dump it off, and that is 288. Pat Freiermuth, maybe a little bit of a late hit from Kendrick Green. There is a flag. Got some pushing and shoving. See what the flag is. But it's a first down Pittsburgh for the time being. We'll see what the penalty is, but personal foul on the Raiders. Personal foul roughing the passer. That's an automatic first down, 15-yard penalty. And that'll be, of course, added to the end of the completed pass. Okay. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, like I said earlier, it's smash mouth football. It's the Raiders and Steelers. What do you expect? So, another injured Raider down right now. Checking out his left leg. Yeah, some of these players are probably, as Charles Davis says it, probably just cramping up. It's a hot day. It's not necessarily a hot game, but it is a good game right now. Low scoring, defensive showdown. But a first down for the Steelers following this completion to Freiermuth and then a roughing the passer. So 15 yards tacked on, automatic first down from the 44, 1st and 10 Steelers. With 3:50 to play in the third, got a whistle with a penalty flag and a false start on Deontay Johnson. So that'll back him up 5 yards. So roughing the passer is really now only a 10-yard penalty, but 1st and 15 for the Steelers. First and 15 from the 39. And Roethlisberger complete to Claypool right at the marker. Gain of 16 on the pass. Nice back shoulder. Complete to the former Golden Domer from South Bend, Indiana. First down Steelers. Highlight update on Fox with the Rams and Colts as Indy cuts it to 3. 2-point successful as it is now 17-14. LA leading Indianapolis. 19-3 New England over the Jets. That game's over with. You can give New England a win with 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Well, you probably could have given them a win before the game even started. But I remember, I believe it was either last year or the year before. Now we got some pushing and shoving late. It's going to get chippy now with the way this game's gone and the way the officials are trying to do their best, but trying to also stay the hell out of it. Just let them play. The Bills, in the meantime, also scored, extending the lead to 21-0. So what are the excuses going to be from Dolphin fans now? That's a big question. Browns 24-14 over the Texans, coming from behind. Probably going to win that game now. But back to Patriots-Jets. I believe it was New England, yeah. Might have been somebody playing the Giants, or maybe it was them playing the Giants. I'm pretty sure it was Pats and Jets. Belichick's former home for about 3 days as head coach. But they won on a Monday night game. It was recent, or the past couple years. Update with Buffalo scoring their third touchdown, 21-0 over Miami now. That was a Josh Allen passing touchdown to Dawson Knox. So Buffalo scoring more points than they did last week in a loss. Pittsburgh, in the meantime, the team they lost to, losing by 9 at home, 16-7 against the Raiders right now. But with what I'm saying is the Broncos also lead the Jags 17-7 right now. The game's probably over with too. Who would have thought Denver would be 2-0 to start the year with Teddy Bridgewater at the helm? But he might be the answer at quarterback for him for the time being. I did see earlier today that there's a report saying that, with reports, rumors, it's not true until it all gets finalized. But Peyton Manning might be looking to buy the Denver Broncos, buy into the ownership at some point in time in the near future. Incomplete, fourth down for the Steelers again. Here we go. Presley Harvin for the third time today on the punt. Pin him deep. Pin him deep, make him drive. Especially with Derek Carr injured now. He'll be back out there playing quarterback, though, I can guarantee you that. If not, it's going to be Nathan Peterman. Regardless who's in at quarterback, get some pressure on the Raider offense. Ball going to be down inside the 5 from Presley Harvin's blue suede shoes down at the 3. It'll be 1st and 10 Raiders from there. Up 9, 16-7 with 1:43 to play in the third quarter. Now we're going to get some sprinkles with vanilla Rocky Road chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. That's a delay of game on San Fran. They still lead 7-3. But now, sprinkles. Good to see that commercial back. We're back at home with Baker Mayfield with what he's doing now this year. And then, of course, Rodgers and Mahomes with working at a shoe shop and looking to become a music superstar. But there's Tony Romo predicting lime time in the meantime. But yeah, here, Raiders, Steelers. See if the Steeler defense can step up. I mean, yeah, they gave up those 3 field goals in the first half, and that touchdown right before halftime that turned into a field goal because of a few penalties and everything the Raiders did to shoot themselves in the foot right before half. But then another touchdown. Now it's 16-7. Really, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. This game could be 35-7 right now. You look at it. If they keep that touchdown, they have the touchdown here in the second half, and then those 3 field goals are all 3 touchdowns. And then this game is over. But Pittsburgh's still in it. Defense keep them in it. But the offense has to get going. You can't really wait a whole lot longer. I get Omalm is going to be coming at some point in time in the fourth, but you still trail by 9 right now, 16-7. Defense on the field. You got the Raiders backed up to their goal line. You need a big stop. Plain and simple. Need a big stop. If they can get one, get the ball back with some good starting field position, as this crowd's going to come alive, hopefully, as they always do late in the game. We'll see if the Steelers can get back into it. But Carr under center, 1st and 10 from the 3. Complete to Kenyon Drake, and that goes out past the 20 for a Raider first down. You can't give up play after play like that and expect to not give up points, and then when you can't do anything on offense, expect to get back in the game and come back and win. You're done for. Plain and simple. They need to get a stop here on defense. If not, this game, as a few other games, are going to be almost over as well, even though they're already in the third quarter, not officially over with, until they're done with. This game is going to be over with if they can't get something going. Over the middle, complete on a slant for 2 yards. 2nd and 8, under a minute to play in the third. So, yeah, this game, just as much as Oakland, LA, Vegas, whatever the hell you want to call them, they're the Raiders, or the Silver and Black Raiders, Always will be. Always have been, always will be. As many times as they shot themselves in the foot, they somehow have a 9-point lead right now. Pass over the middle, caught by Waller, brought down by Spillane and Ingram. First down. And that should do it for the third quarter. 20 seconds and counting. I doubt they'll snap it again. Got a good one cooking in Indy with the Rams and Colts 17-14. 7-3 though still, San Fran and Philly. I'm going to try to draw them off sides. That does it for the third quarter. So at the end of 3, it is in fact the Raiders with a 9-point road lead in Pittsburgh. 16-7. That's your score. Raiders 16, Steelers 7 at the end of 45 minutes of football. 15 minutes to go in this 60-minute game. Yes, I can do math, but 1 fourth and final quarter of action coming up momentarily. Once again, though, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch-along reactions, listening today, actually, with this audio only, live right here on YouTube. It is Vegas and Pittsburgh, 16-7, your score. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Scroll down, check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And subscribe right here on YouTube. All you have to do is that red subscribe button with a notification bell next to it. As well, thumbs up button, share hashtag NFL, hashtag Raiders, hashtag Steelers, hashtag whatever the hell you want to. For all I care, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. But, I mean, even with all the injuries coming into today, okay, Josh Jacobs out for the Raiders at running back. Pittsburgh on defense. As the Raiders also had a few linemen out injured today as well. Joe Hayden out injured along with Devin Bush. And then early on in the game, Tyson Alualu gets injured on the D-line, out for the remaining part of the game. Down goes TJ Watt as well with a groin injury. He's out. In the meantime, Robert Spillane along with Melvin Ingram as of late have really stepped up. You still got Schobert and Highsmith though as well. I mean, that's no excuse for the Steelers with the injuries for either team, really, but Pittsburgh, for the most part, with key injuries during the game today. It's next man up mentality. That's why you have 53 on the active roster last I checked, right? Yeah, so the Steelers on offense, if they can make a stop here on defense, but it doesn't look like it, they're just allowing the Raiders to drive and score here. They still have to get a running game going with Najee Harris. But really, the Steelers really haven't had the ball a whole lot in the second half. They haven't. So they really haven't been able to do a whole lot in that aspect. But still, the way the running game was last week, it was all right. When they had to run the ball late, of course, came from behind, picked up the win. Today, it's wish-washy. This is when, though, the end of the third, early fourth quarter last at Buffalo, they started to come back as they trailed at the half, as they also did again today. At least they scored a touchdown in the first half, though. Weren't shut out again. But then, of course, Roethlisberger found Deontay Johnson for 6. The block punt helped out. So I said earlier, we'll see if, special teams or the defense can make a stand or not. Turnovers, all that wrapped up into one. See if any of it takes place and helps out either of these two teams today, picking up the win. But as we begin the fourth and final quarter of play, 1st and 10 for the Raiders, leading by 9, 16-7 at Pittsburgh. Pass complete near side to number 11, Henry Ruggs III. Got an update. What do we got? This is Cincinnati and Chicago. And a pick 6 by the Bears defense. They now lead 17-3. That game looks to be over with. Cincinnati coming to Pittsburgh next Sunday, where the Raiders, they will host the Miami Dolphins. And that game, of course, a rematch from a Saturday night late last December, the day after Christmas. That was also the Same game, the same live watch long reaction stream I did that, of course, found out that now the late, great Mr. Brody Lee, the Exalted One himself, had passed away. So that game next Sunday with Miami and Vegas might be, of course, won't be watching because it's not going to be in prime time or on national TV by any means. 4 kick next Sunday afternoon. It'll be, I would say, I don't know, maybe a little bit emotional, but 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders in the meantime. Cameron Hayward with a big stop. 4th down. Pittsburgh getting the ball back. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. 13:03 to play. See if the offense can get something going. I mean, the defense just made a stop. Can the offense capitalize, build off of this, get some rhythm and momentum build up, drive and score? Good return on the punt return would help that out. At least start it off, kickstart right, but Ray Rivencloud's back deep to receive. They don't block the punt this time like they did this time last week, but down in the end zone for a touchback. So at least, okay, 1st and 10 from the 20. You're not going to be backed up from inside the 5 by any means like Raiders were just a minute ago, but it is the 4th quarter. It is 16-7. Raiders leading the Steelers once again. 12:56 to play. It is currently a timeout, commercial break, but we have San Fran and Philly also on, 7-3 with the 49ers about to punch it in. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Jimmy G going to hand off. Touchdown, San Francisco. As mentioned last week and a few times, I know late last year, of course, with the future of Ben Roethlisberger at that point in time. Of course, now he's back, and hopefully he'll be back after this season as well. But I had name drop, Jimmy Garoppolo along with Matt Ryan. You can't roll out Aaron Rodgers. You can't roll out a few other quarterbacks as well. Whether it be Dwayne Haskins getting the job after Roethlisberger retires or not, I sure hell hope to God not it's not Mason Rudolph or Josh Dobbs. I think they know it's not going to be. But really, is Haskins going to be ready to be a starting quarterback again in the NFL? It wasn't bad in college at Ohio State. It wasn't really that bad in Washington, but they really weren't that good with him before Ron Rivera. And then, of course, they cut him right around the time Washington defeated Pittsburgh last December. As he didn't even make that trip. I believe he got cut like a couple days or a week or so later. Of course, hanging out in strip clubs and not studying game film, but we'll see what the future holds, but it's one game at a time right now. I'm not worried about next offseason right now. We'll get there when we get there. Steelers got to come back and win this game right now. As we all know what the standard is. The standard is the standard. Plain and simple. Got to find a way to come back, drive, put some points on the board here. Just cut the lead. Keep chipping away. Back from commercial break. It would be 16-14 if they'd scored. 16-10 if they kick a field goal. You need a touchdown to win it then if it's a field goal. You need a field goal to win it if it's a touchdown. Vice versa on both. They have to get this running game going, though. Hand off Najee Harris. He's going to get 3, maybe 4 yards before being brought down. So, yeah, we'll get to next week at the earliest with the Bengal-Steeler matchup when we get there. And then, it's a few other home games with a tough road game to Green Bay beginning of October as well. So, really, you look ahead to the Steelers' schedule before their bye week. And the way a few of these teams are playing right now, it's not going to be getting any easier. But 2nd and 7. Eric Ebron in motion. Roethlisberger looking to throw deep down the near side. Has a man in Claypool. Nice catch to the 35-yard line. He can get up and go. He's still on the run down inside the 30 at the 25. 1st and 10. Steelers. Under 12 to play. And the terrible towels waving in the air. If they score here, of course, renegade and then make a big stop on defense. Get the ball back. Okay, we're there then. You got to finish the drive off, though, first. And it's not starting well. Fumbled snap. Roethlisberger gets rid of it. That's incomplete. Okay. Just luckily he threw it. Wasn't a fumble. Wasn't picked off. It's second. And once again, if we get there, they score here. Another stop on defense. Game-winning field goal, game-winning touchdown, whatever. Just as long as there's a W after the Raiders' name in the win column for this Week 2 matchup with the 1-0 Raiders and the 1-0 Steelers. That's all that matters. That's really all that matters. So 2nd and 10 from the 25. Got a whistle, and we're going to have a timeout by Pittsburgh. They're first. They'll have 2 remaining with 11:29 to play. Raiders still have all 3. But this game's going to come down to the wire, it seems like. I mean, once again, what do you expect? It's the Raiders and the Steelers. 9 times out of 10, this is how these games end. Along with it being as physical as it's been all game. Smash mouth football. We're going to hit you in the face, and you're going to like it. And if you don't, well, you can hit us back, but we're going to hit you back then too. So, timeout Pittsburgh. Got a touchdown by the Niners. Guess the previous touchdown was overturned, but they punch it in the end anyway, and they extend their lead 13-3 now, pending Lock Haven's own Robbie Gould's upcoming extra point. From the 25, 2nd and 10. Ben looking to throw deep in the end zone. A little too much, incomplete, intended for Deontay Johnson. Go over the middle, goddammit, to one of your 2 tight ends. Like, seriously, go over the middle to Ebron or Freiermuth. Freiermuth has 1 catch. Ebron targeted once, but no catch. It's like, these 2 Pennsylvania teams that I like, root for, my favorite teams, Penn State and Steelers, until you say something, hey, get the tight ends involved, they don't do anything with the damn tight ends. 3rd and 10 from the 25. Pass complete, Najee Harris breaks a tackle. Scoots his way down the near sideline into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 25 yards out, Ben Roethlisberger with a passing touchdown to Najee Harris on a screen in the flat. He dives for the pylon into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Did he step out? No, that's a big 10-4 on the NO. Touchdown Steelers. It's a 3-point lead right now for the Raiders at 16-13. So even if, because Steelers like to go for 2, or if they'd miss the extra point, there's a flag on the play. See what that is. It'd still be a 3-point game in which they can kick a field goal to, tie it to force overtime then. But then, okay, I guess we got some trash talk back and forth, some pushing and shoving. That's when the flags came flying. Probably offset. Probably just be a longer extra point now. Keep your calm. Cool the hell down. Don't do anything stupid to cost your team the win. 2 fouls on the play. One by each team, they're going to offset. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Raiders, and then unsportsmanlike conduct on the Steelers. Penalties offset, extra point, the try to come. Trey Turner's disqualified, kicked out. So now, look at the offensive line. It's going to be B.J. Finney stepping in at right guard when the Steelers get back out on offense. Question is, why was he thrown out and not the Raider player? Foul's offset, and then we're going to have the extra point, yes. But why is he disqualified, not the other player? What's the explanation on that? Somebody better get him back on the sideline before he does more harm to himself. Because he's already been kicked out. He probably will get fined. He might get suspended. I don't know. Hopefully not. They need him up front at guard. There's just some trash talk back and forth, and then some pushing and shoving, and the flags came flying, and he obviously said something the refs didn't like. Offsetting unsportsmanlike fouls, but then he gets thrown out. So, extra point to come. Boswell's on, but this will make it a 2-point game if he makes it. But if he still misses or they go for 2, like I said, they still just need a field goal to tie it at 16. But if they make the extra point here, a game-winning field goal, if they can hold them, the field goal would then win it for the Steelers. Now Mike Tomlin's giving the Zebras an earful, and rightfully so. Absolute horseshit, just like it was last night. And it's like, do your fucking job. Like, seriously. How do these NFL officials get by with as bad as it is? And then Gruden earlier, weighing into him earlier, but now he's pissed off because they're taking too long, and, let's get this game on the road. No, there wasn't a punch. It had to have been something he said. That's why he was thrown out. So we'll see who's going to be stepping in for Trey Turner at right guard. Yeah, it's either going to be B.J. Finney, Joe Haig, or J.C. Hossener. Unless they would flip-flop some tackles with guards and switch the offensive line up. Extra points up and go. So 16-14 now. Okay. But even with all that, the Steelers need to make another stop on defense. I'm sure Renegade is about to play, if the screen hasn't already gone black on the scoreboard. Especially the way that touchdown ended, and then the penalty, and then the extra point to follow, how that all took place. Crowd's already into it. They're just going to get even hotter. Officiating last night and today for the most part for Penn State and Pittsburgh Steelers. Just absolutely terrible. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if the Steelers can make a stop or not. But, I mean, you can't really, rely on the officials. You got to do your job first, and then the rest will sort itself out. And that was on Trey Turner. It was. If he would have kept his mouth shut, still would have been offset with the penalties. One on the Raiders, one on the Steelers, but then he wouldn't have got thrown out. But then he kept going. So, of course, now we know in his second game ever with the Steelers, coming over from the Chargers for agency, and former Panther as well. He's got a little bit of a hothead to him, but you got to like the fight. You got to like, him standing up for what he believes in, and You know, my question is, they threw him out. Why didn't they throw the other guy out? Because if they were both offsetting unsportsmanlike fouls, and he got thrown out, why didn't the Raider defender get thrown out either? But now, oh mama, they're going to be coming for the Raiders. So the silver and black better be feared, as they now only have a 2-point lead, 16-14 with 11:15 to play. Touchback on the kickoff, 1st and 10 Raiders from the 25. Now this is when the defense needs to step the hell up, make a bigger stop than what they've already done today. Oh, he spit on him. He spit on him. That's why he got thrown out. Trey Turner spit on him. Okay. I didn't see that. They showed another replay of it. He spit on him. You can't do that. That's unacceptable. I don't care who the hell you are. So that's why he got thrown out. Okay. Makes sense. 1st and 10, Raiders from the 25. Barely hear yourselves think. Raiders pass complete. And Derek Carrier for 4 yards to 29 on the reception. 2nd down and 6 for the silver and black. Really haven't said Cameron Sutton's name today. I mean, he's the number 1 corner with Hayden out. Minka's made a stop or two. But it's been the linebackers and then Cameron Hayward up front, especially, of course, Stephon Tuitt's still out. But then losing Tyson Lulu and then TJ Watt, even with Devin Bush already out today as well. The linebackers stepped up. The secondary needs to step up a little bit more, and then back on offense. And you need the running game going with Harris, even though he has a receiving touchdown to cut it to 2. Pass complete from Derek Carr to Darren Waller. Edmonds on the tackle. So, and now even with a lineman being ejected because he spit on somebody, like if these two teams were playing and that happened back in the 70s, that would have been fine. Nobody would have cared. But it's 2021 and everybody's gone soft. So 1st and 10 from the 39. Carr looking to throw again. And a little miscommunication with him and Renfro. Incomplete. .48 to play. Raiders with the ball up 2, 2nd and 10. Zay Jones comes in at wide receiver. Now we got a whistle for a timeout. Raiders call their first in the second half, both with 2 remaining. Still 2nd and 10, 9:48 to play, 16-14 your score. As it's been Carr to Renfro, of course, Darren Waller, Ruggs, and Brian Edwards had a few catches as well. And then good to see Willie Snead get in because he didn't do jack shit last Monday night for him against Baltimore. And then Zay Jones, who caught the game winner last week in the ball game for the first time right now too. So the thing is, if I'm John Gruden, the Raiders right now, they bring up the Raiders 2 running backs. Of course, Josh Jacobs out with an injury, not playing today. Neither team's been able to run the football, but on the road, you have a lead in the 4th quarter. You need to be able to run the football right now. Why isn't Vegas running Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber? And then give Carr a nice play action pass to air it out, rather than throw every single play. Pass near side, incomplete at midfield, intended for Henry Ruggs. as number 42, James Pierre, who is filling in for Joe Hayden Day, makes the stop. Good coverage by him. And complete 3rd down and 10. Third and 10 for the silver and black as the black and gold. Look to come back and win their second consecutive game to start out 2-0. Carr going to go deep. Has a man in Henry Ruggs, and he walks into the end zone. You got to be kidding me. All 3 of them almost ran into the damn official, and they take a deep shot. And Carr beats the Pittsburgh secondary. What I just say, the Steelers secondary needs to step the hell up. Well, they don't. They don't. Carr with a nice pump fake. Minka gets beat. Misses the tackle as soon as Ruggs catches it. That's Alabama on Alabama. And Akello Witherspoon, number 25, who the Steelers traded for at the end of the preseason as well from Seattle, also on the coverage, gives up the big play. And now with 9:35 to play, the Raiders quiet the Steel City to extend their lead once again back to 9 at 23-14 with under 10 to play. What a play call. Good deep ball from Carr, hitting Henry Ruggs right on the money. And he walks into the end zone for, what was that, a 65-yard passing touchdown? Officially a 61 passing yard touchdown. So, yeah, just, I mean, man. As good as this Steeler defense is, and with all the injuries, it's still no excuse. They've stepped up, but then they've given up big play after big play after big play when they can't be doing that. And, you know, no wonder the Steeler offense, when they don't really have a whole lot going, they have the 2 touchdowns, a rushing end around for Juju Smith-Schuster, who's been quiet this second half. Really, as all the receivers have been, including Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. Claypool did have a big reception down the near sideline earlier, but and then Najee Harris on a 25-yard receiving touchdown from Roethlisberger, but they still have no running game, and they're playing catch-up, plain and simple. We are at Heinz Field, and the Steelers are playing catch-up in the fourth quarter, trying to come back and beat the visiting Raiders, but I don't think it's going to happen now, especially after that touchdown pass that he just gave up. As Carr, against the Pittsburgh Steelers in every start, has thrown for more than 250 yards each game. So I believe if he hasn't already eclipsed that, he will here sometime soon. But that should have just put him over the mark. I'd say we'll take off some final stats and scores. Post-game, of course, as always, it's still 14-3, San Fran leading Philly. Of course, see if we get any bonus coverage with any of these games as well or not. But it's really just going to depend on what else is still going on once these games wrap up. As that game, along with, hell, I don't know why they don't put Rams Colts on Fox right now for bonus coverage, with the 49ers going to beat the Eagles 14-3 because they're all tied up at 24. Browns holding on by 10, 31-21 against the Texans. Bears also lead by 10, 20-10 over the Bengals. Bills Dolphins just now starting the fourth quarter. But all these other games, Patriots going to beat the Jets 22-6. They got 5 minutes to play. All these other games are ahead. So this Raiders-Steeler game would be bonus coverage, save for someone else that's not currently already watching this. Of course, like for Fox to put on LA and Indy rather than finishing up watching San Fran and Philly, because they're all tied up at 24, not 14-3. But we'll see what Pittsburgh now can do on offense to try to rebound from giving up a 61-yard touchdown from Derek Carr to Henry Ruggs, who found carpet in the end zone for 6. Pass complete near side to Deontay Johnson. It'll be second down. Got a few. He's lucky. 4 officially. 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger looking to throw. Hit James Washington right in the hands. You got to catch that, man. He's had way too many drops in his NFL career. Former Blitnikoff Award winner out of Oklahoma State. Just unacceptable. So who's at right guard? It is 67 B.J. Finney coming in for Trey Turner. Okay. 3rd and 6 for the Steelers. And really, I mean, you still want to try to be consistent with the running game, but you can't be running the football and try now to get a running game going. Down 9 again. You got to start airing it out like they are, but you got to execute. Pass complete. That's Fryermuth. That's a face mask on the tackle. But he does not get the first down. It'll be 4th and short, and Pittsburgh with under 9 minutes to play now, down 9. 4th and 1, they got a decision to make. You go for it on 4th and short. Probably not with 2 minutes and the 2-minute warning to come, because you don't get it here. You're going to give them the ball with great starting field position. They score on you 35 yards out, extend their lead to 30-14 or 26-14 if they have to kick a field goal. The game's over. I mean, the game's probably over now as it is, but you just never know. So it probably is a good decision, even though the fans are booing, to punt the football. You play smart football right now. You punt it. You play good defense, but you can't give up a good return like that to Hunter Renfrow for 15 to 25 on the punt return. You can't give up as many big plays as you've given up all damn day to this Raider offense. It's unacceptable. Plain and simple. There's nothing else to be said about it, so I'll shut up. .8:23 to play. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, leading once again by 9. As we were back to 16-7, now it's 23-14 with both teams scoring another touchdown since. 23-14 your score. Handoff. Peyton Barber, 11 yards for him, and now they're just going to run the football, run this clock out, pick up first down after first down after first down, make the Steelers call their 2 timeouts, get past the 2-minute warning, and the Raiders are going to end up winning this game and beat the Steelers. They are. Just shaking my damn head right now. I am. It's once again unacceptable for Pittsburgh to be playing like this and expecting to have a chance to win. Handoff, Kenyon Drake, Edmonds, and Pierre, 34 and 42 on the stop for the Steeler defense. I mean, if they didn't give up that big passing touchdown, on the Raiders' last drive, they'd still be in it. They had to punt, and you stop them here. You try to drive again, but you give them the touchdown, you trail by 9 again, and time's not on your side, even with your 2 timeouts, because the Raiders are picking up first down, left and right, and have been all damn day. They cut it to 2, even when they led by 1 earlier, 7-6. And the Raiders, in the meantime, quit settling for field goals, scored 2 more touchdowns. But like I just said, if, they, with those 2 touchdowns, or those 3 touchdowns actually now, still have those 3 touchdowns, plus those 3 field goals that could have been touchdowns, Pittsburgh's getting blown out right now, 35-42-14. Like, it's not that hard to see, but the defense kept them in it to a point, but then the offense still didn't get rolling. They gotta fix the fucking running game, plain and simple. And they can't be giving up big plays on defense like this. 3rd and 3. We'll see if they make a stand here. I mean, there's still time, but there really isn't. I get 6 minutes and 10 seconds is an eternity. Peyton Barber on the give, loses a few yards. about 5:30 by the time Vegas punts, unless there's a timeout called right there. And then the Steelers can get the football back. You got to be quick, though. Somebody did call a timeout. I don't know who. I would assume Pittsburgh, because the Raiders aren't going to stop the clock when they're up. Be stupid to. Okay, the Steelers do call a timeout. So it's 4th down, silver and black, Oakland, LA, Vegas Raiders, with 6:05 to play. 4th down, no punt. Pittsburgh gets the ball back, but you got to be quick on offense. You got to get a drive going. You got to score if you want to get back into this game. If not, and you turn it over again, you're done for. Because you're only going to have one timeout plus 2-minute warning. Plus, if you take up some time, all the time's going to be gone, and then they're just going to continue around the football on you. 1st down, game's over. Punt, fielded at the 16 by number 14, Ray McLeod. He's got some blockers. Gets to the 33-yard line, 1st and 10, Steelers. So a good return. Maybe that sparks something. Still got to be balanced. Try to be, at least. Running the football, got to be able to run. But they are down by 9, so they got to be smart about the play calls they do run with Roethlisberger throwing. And he does have that interception from earlier. Just don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. Don't throw another pick. Don't turn the ball over. Cincinnati cuts it to 3, 20-17. The Bears with 3.5 to play. Pass over the middle caught by Freiermuth. Okay, now they're going back to back to back with these tight ends finally getting involved, which is a good sign. Second down, though. Second and about a yard. A long one from the 41. Ben looking to throw. Going to dump it off again. Najee Harris. Okay. If you're not running the football with him, at least get him involved in the pass game. Of course, he has that 25-yard receiving touchdown from earlier. Get him back involved. Catching some balls out of the backfield on the screens. Simple dump off just like that. Make him work his magic, then getting some yak yards post-catch. 1st and 10, a simple dump off on the screen of Najee Harris again. He's going to get 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards, midfield. Okay, so they're trying to be quick about it, 4:50 and counting, but, hey, he's a running back. Regardless, whoever gets the football, you're technically going to be running, hopefully towards the 1st down and towards the end zone for a touchdown once you have the ball in your possession. So technically, I guess you could say flip back to that's still running the football and get the run game going, but not necessarily because it's a pass, but pass complete near side. Deontay Johnson, 10 yards for Pittsburgh Steelers, 1st down.
Good gains. This guy right here in the back, Javon Merritt, he's going to be the original.
Short, simple passes. Just keep moving the sticks. I don't get why they haven't done this all damn day, but they haven't. It's like they want to come from behind and win again. I don't know who the hell would want to be doing that every single game. Ben luckily gets rid of it. It's complete Najee Harris. Going to make a few men miss. Only gets a yard, but it could have been a loss of 5 on the sack. So I'll take that. They have 1 timeout and 4 minutes to play. Down by 9. Question's going to be, do they kick an onside kick? Maybe, but probably not. Be a tough decision, yes, because you only have the 1 timeout. Depends on how quick you score here, honestly. And then you go from there. Oh, how's that not pass interference? Thank you. Penalty flag comes in. Ben got rid of it. It was a wobble of a pass. Incomplete, but then Jonathan Abram came in and basically tackled Juju Smith-Schuster. And made sure that, of course, he couldn't catch it, but now they're going to pick up the flag because the ball was deflected. It was. That's good. That's a good pickup. It's incomplete. That's a good call. I'll live with that. Hell, he was just going for the tackle because he thought he was the player he was defending was going to be catching the football. And of course he would have been if it wasn't deflected. Eagles with a touchdown, cutting it to 7. Need the extra point, though, to make it 7. Bills 28-0 over Miami. Rams 27-24 with 2 minutes to play. That's a damn good game. Hopefully Fox puts that on bonus coverage.
You mentioned led the league in interceptions. That was back in 2016 when he had 7. David Arnett would step in to replace him. Arnett was the guy that got.
And now Philly's going to go for 2. And they get it. It's 17-11. So now they're only down by 6. And a touchdown would win it for them. Of course, 6, but then they also got to keep the extra point then at that point in time, too. They got about 4 minutes to play. Pittsburgh, 3rd and 10 with 3:52 to play, down by 9. It's 23-14 Raiders. Ben out of the gun looking to throw. Caught and then dropped. Big hit by the Raiders. Chase Claypool, the intended target. And yeah, he's seeing stars right now. He's dizzy as all hell. Big hit by the Raiders on defense. Buddy jarred the ball loose. It's incomplete. And what now? It's 4th down for Pittsburgh. Hell, this might be the ball game, folks. Might be. It probably will be, honestly. Because unless they convert, yeah, it's 4th and 10, 3:47 play. Unless they convert, keep the drive alive. Then you have 1 timeout plus 2-minute warning. Get back on defense, stop them, get the ball back. You got to score twice when you got to score like now. So this arguably, yeah, could be the game right now. 4th and 10 for the Steelers, down by 9. But we got an injury timeout after a big hit on defense. Meantime, San Fran 17-11 is your score with 49ers leading the Eagles.
Is he okay?
Jimmy G and the gang getting the ball back. From the city of brotherly love, from the link. Eagles trying to come back, just as the Steelers are trying to as well, come back and win against 2 West Coast teams. One that's still in the Bay Area, one that used to be. But we'll have some final stats and scores momentarily. Got another injured quarterback. As Carson Wentz, the Colts quarterback, is down injured. I guess taken out. Jacob Eason, just like Jacoby Brissett, who was in Indy, some of the Dolphins in for Tua down in South Beach. And now both home teams and the Colts and Dolphins are probably going to end up losing now. Dolphins for sure. They're getting shut out at home by Buffalo 28-0. At least the Colts only have a 3-point deficit at home against the Rams, 27-24 right now. But yeah, we'll, once this game goes final, as always, some post-game final stats and scores from this game, and then also from around the rest of the NFL as well. So stay tuned, and as always, thank you for tuning in and listening. Audio only this afternoon. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. But Steelers now on 4th and 10, going to kick a 56-yard field goal to make it a 6-point game. 56-yard field goal from Boswell is going to be drilled. It's up and good. The Steelers now only trail by 6, 23-17 with 3:42 to play. All right, there is some hope. That's a sigh of relief to an extent right now. They have 1 timeout. They had the 2-minute warning as well. Just barely got it. been from 57, 58, I don't know if he would have made it. But he gets it from 56. And, yeah. Just a little bit of hope right now that they can come back and pick up the win. And that 56-yarder now, longest in Heinz Field history. Which is a bit of a surprise, but not really. I mean, to that end, no. But the other end, if they were kicking towards the river, yeah, that'd be different. Do they kick an onside kick right now? That's the other question. No. I play defense. I get my stop. I let this clock run. I kick it deep. I play defense. I let the clock run. I call my third and final timeout after third down and hope to get the ball back. And then you drive. You score a touchdown. You kick a game winner, extra point. You win the game 24-23. Use the sidelines as well if it comes down to it, because they are your friend. Clock's going to stop. So they do kick it deep. We'll see what the Raiders do here with 3:37 to play. And as mentioned before, a lot of close games with these two teams over the past 15 or so years, but in general. And game-winning field goals, game-winning kicks. Yeah, Boswell, last time these two teams met, remember he slipped, kicking a potential game tire, and that's how the Steelers lost. The Raiders have had the upper hand in this series over the past few meetings. Hand off Peyton Barber. This is all they're going to do is run the damn football, and rightfully so, run the clock out. Last 4 meetings, each game has been decided by 3 points. Yeah, they've won 3 of them. Pittsburgh has only won the other one, but however, the home team won each game. Pittsburgh's home today. They trail by 6. Can they come back and win it? I don't know. Probably not, but if they get the ball back, get a good drive going, you score, of course, tied up, game winner on an extra point. Who would have thought to win it 24-23? Okay, then so be it, but 2nd and 7 from the 30 for the Raiders. Carr, pass complete. Come on, you got to cover better. Darren Waller, big first down pickup. Schobert on the coverage. He took him down right away on the tackle, but you got to turn around a little bit sooner, or at least when he is looking for the football, get your arms up and try to bat the ball down from behind. So now, time's just ticking away. They'll have to snap it once more before the 2-minute warning, as Carr's nearing 400 passing yards today with 2 touchdowns. They'll have to snap it here once more for 2-minute warning. Be 2nd down as they run it, unless he gets a first down here, which he does. That should do it, honestly. All the Steelers call timeout for a 2-minute warning. No, 2 minutes to play. Another first down for the Raiders. The running game, the Raiders can run the football when needed. The Steelers can't in general. And it's going to cost them the game, along with giving up on defense, big play after big play after big play. That's why Pittsburgh's going to lose today. Because the Steelers can only stop it once more. 2-minute warning, but it's a first down. If they would have made a stop on those previous couple plays, it might be 3rd down right now. Coming on 2-minute warning, okay, call your timeout, get the ball back with some time, but first down, Raiders. Pittsburgh can only stop it once more now. 2-minute warning right now, so be a 2nd down, and then the Raiders are going to be able to get this under a minute unless they just continue to run the ball down the throat of the Steeler defense and end up scoring to seal it. If they do that, more power to them. Kudos, credit to them, because they earned it. They do deserve to pick up the win today over the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is a shame because Pittsburgh had a 7-6 lead, and they were forcing the Raiders to settle for field goals. And then in the second half, they just started giving up more bigger plays, and it's going to cost them because they can't run the football on defense. Even with the injuries, that's still no excuse. The defense can't stop this Raider offense. And they're just going to continue to run the football. That's all they're going to do, plain and simple. Of course, you can get a fumble or something like that, okay, but I doubt that'll happen. If like I said, Pittsburgh can get a stop, which if they do, they're going to have, I don't know, say 20 seconds. Because it's first down and 10 right now. The Raiders are definitely going to be able to get this under a minute. It just depends on how far they can tick it down. This game seems to be over with. It does. And it stings. It's going to be a tough loss. Of course, these teams don't meet every year, even though they are in the AFC, other than if they meet in the playoffs. Ben had an interception. They capitalized with field goal. They don't have that as 2017, but they're still leading. So you can't say that's why they lost. They lost because they can't run the football, and they lost because they can't make some. I mean, they have made some big crucial stops. The Steelers are going to call their third final timeout now with 1:56 to play. 49ers are going to beat the Eagles 17-11. We'll see if we get bonus coverage on Fox or not. But now they can, on 2nd and 8, go to 1:16, go to about 30 seconds or so, yeah. And the Steelers are, because they can't run the football. They made a few stops on defense, but the big plays, they couldn't stop those. They couldn't stop the big plays. And that's why, the black and gold are going to lose the silver and black. And the Raiders are going to start out 0-2. They'll play the Dolphins next week at home, along with the Chargers on a Monday night the following week. So, handoff, Peyton Barber for a couple yards. It'll be 3rd down, but all this clock's going to do, because the Steelers can't stop it, is just going to roll. So they can get this down to a minute, and because it's 3rd and 6 now. See what the differential is between the game clock and the play clock. They're not going to snap it until they have to snap it, until there's 1 second on the play clock. Go down to 1:11. Now, they hike it on 3rd and 6. The Steelers get a stop. Okay, Pittsburgh's going to get the football back. However, I might add that the Raiders are in field goal territory. They're going to wind this clock and kick, even though they're up by 6 right now, potential game winner to win it 26-17, rather than the score we have right now. They can take it down to about 24 seconds on 4th and 5 before they have to call their timeout. And then they'll kick it. They make it. I mean, they win 26-17, but they miss it. Okay, the Steelers are going to have about 20 seconds, as said, as thought, to drive and score. But if they're down 26-17, there's no way they can score, go for 2, and tie it to force overtime because you're down 9. There's no way this late you can score and get a total of 9 points on a touchdown. You can get 8, lose by 1, but it doesn't cut it. So, the 49ers beat the Eagles 17-11. Got a few other finals, along with a few other games kicking off right now. We'll get into all this momentarily. But now, as Carlson's already good from 46, 33, and 41, 3 for 3 today. 4th time's a charm to seal it from 45 yards out to make it a 9-point game for the win. That does it. The Raiders are going to win 26-17. Pittsburgh's going to get the football back with 20 seconds on the dot. But it's a 9-point lead. There's no way in hell Pittsburgh can drive and score and expect to get a 9-point touchdown to tie it 26-7 to force overtime. This game's over. The Raiders are going to get to 2-0, a big road win in Pittsburgh today, defeating the Steelers 6-17. And what a game it was. 3-0, 6-0, 7-6, 9-7 at the half. Raiders settled for field goals. Second half, they didn't. And just like I said, it could have been 10 times worse than the 9-point loss the Pittsburgh Steelers are taking right now. Because say those 4 field goals were 4 touchdowns plus their other 3 field goals they had. You know, it's 35, 42, 49 to 17 right now. We will get bonus coverage on Fox with New Orleans and Carolina, but that game's also over. Panthers lead and will win 26-7. They got 2 minutes to play. The Raiders ran the ball when needed. Of course, beat the Steelers secondary deep there. A lot of big offensive plays that the Steelers on defense could not stop. They couldn't run the ball either. And kudos to the silver and black Las Vegas Raiders. They defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers by a final score of 26-17. Still got 20 seconds, though. I doubt Pittsburgh's going to do anything, though. Right up to the kick. Ben's going to dump it off, heave it a few times, maybe. They got 3-4 plays at the max. And then, ball game. We'll see if we get bonus coverage on CBS. Bonus coverage now on Fox, New Orleans, Carolina. Game's over, though. 26-7, Carolina's going to win. So, Pittsburgh, they host Cincinnati now next week. Raiders, as I mentioned, they'll host the Dolphins, who lose to Buffalo. So, the Raiders will get to 2-0. The Steelers will fall to 1-1 and not start out 11-0 like they did last year. But even without an 11-0 start and then losing 5-6, exiting in the first round of the playoffs, 2 games into this year in 2021 as well, the Pittsburgh Steelers still do not have a running game. Absolutely pathetic. A dump off to Deontay Johnson, get the hell out of bounds, dude. I don't think he does. They're going to continue to wind this clock. 11 seconds, 10, 9, 8. They're just going to roll it. He's going to act like he's hurt. 5 seconds. Get a 10-second runoff because they don't have a timeout. This game's over. There's 5 seconds to play. Injured Steeler. Under 2 minutes. They don't have timeout. Stop it. There's a 10-second runoff. This game's over. That's the final play of the game. Game is officially over. The Raiders win it 26-17 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, as we have a post-game handshake with John Gruden and Mike Tomlin. It got chippy there as well. Had a lot of trash talk, pushing and shoving back and forth. Hell, a player spit on another player and got ejected. But the Steelers on defense gave up way too many big plays. They still do not have a running game. And it honestly could have been a lot worse than what it was. Because the Raiders with 4 field goals, just think, if that was 4 touchdowns, that's another 28 points. Plus there are a few touchdowns they had. Like I said, it's 35, 42, 49 to 17. So, yeah. Final score, 26-17 Raiders. They'll host the Dolphins now next week. Pittsburgh will host the Bengals. We'll get some final stats and scores now here. And that's how the Raiders build off of their overtime win last week. Coming on the road, and they're 2-0 against the AFC North now in the first 2 weeks of the year, defeating the Ravens and the Steelers. So if that's not saying something, then I don't know what is. Home and away, regardless of where the game's being played at, you can win games like this early in the season, you should be able to win games like this all year long, especially in the playoffs. And the Raiders might be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC West. So if I'm the Chiefs and the Chargers, and hey, the Broncos with another win today as well, that AFC West, along with the NFC West, it seems like the two best divisions in the NFL are out west this year right now. Look out. Honestly, look the hell out. Final scores. Panthers beat the Saints 26-7. Broncos beat the Jaguars 23-13. Bears beat the Bengals 20-17. Browns beat the Texans 31-21. Rams beat the Colts 27-24. Patriots 25-6 over the Jets. 49ers 17-11 over the Eagles as well. We might get bonus coverage on CBS here with the Bills and Dolphins, but it's a shutout for Buffalo, 35-0 on the road against the Finns, as Tua Tagovailoa was injured early. The Buccaneers and Falcons are underway, along with the Cardinals and Vikings, with Tampa leading 7-0 and Minnesota also leading 7-0 early on their opening drives. Still to come, though. We have Cowboys, Chargers, Titans, Seahawks, and Chiefs, Ravens tonight on Sunday Night Football. Monday Night Football tomorrow night, Lions, Packers. Hopefully tune in then for more live watch longer actions live right here on YouTube for Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw and the WWE. But today, the Raiders defeat the Steelers by a final score of 26-17. Derek Carr finished 28-37 for 382 and 2 passing touchdowns. Peyton Barber led Vegas on the ground, 13 carries for 32 rushing yards. Henry Ruggs, that was the game winner, basically, that 61-yard passing touchdown from Derek Carr. He finished 5 catches for $113 and a score. Carr's other touchdown went to Foster Morneau early on. Brian Edwards did have a touchdown but called back. Of course, like I said, those 4 field goals the Raiders had, if those were touchdowns, it would have been a lot uglier than the 9-point win it was for Vegas. But Ruggs, 5 catches for 113 receiving yards and a touchdown. Darren Waller, 5 of 65. Renfro, 5 of 57. Kenyon Drake also had 5 catches for 46 yards. Edwards, 3 of 40. Morneau, 2 of 34 in a score. Willie Snead had a catch, as did Derek Carrier for 2 and 13 receiving yards as well. And then Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger was 27 of 40 for 295 passing yards, a touchdown and interception. There's another field goal that they capitalized on there. Pittsburgh, they had more at the starting tailback position, more rushing yards Najee Harris did than Peyton Barber. 10 carries for 38, whereas Barber was only 13 of 32. But when the Raiders had to run the football, they were able to. The Steelers, they flat out can't run the football regardless of whatever time's remaining in the game. They have no running game. It all starts up front. Roethlisberger was sacked a few times. Trey Turner needs to cool down. Of course, he got ejected for spitting on a player. But once again, what do you expect with the Raiders and Steelers? You know it's going to get chippy. You know there's going to be pushing and shoving some trash talk back and forth. It's just how the rivalry is. And the Raiders with another win in the series, 26-17. Pittsburgh receiving, Deontay Johnson led the way, 9 catches for 105 receiving yards. Claypool, 3 of 70. Najee Harris, at least out of the backfield, he had 5 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown. So all-purpose, almost, do the math there, 90 total yards for Harris today in his first home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster also had 6 catches for 41 yards. Freiermuth, 436. Ebron had a few targets, but no catches. They need to get the tight ends more involved. It all starts up front. You got to be able to block to run, open up the pass. Ben along with Carr, both quarterbacks, merged for almost 500 plus passing yards today, but you know, for the Steelers, and credit to the Raiders, they did what they had to do to win. And like I said, if I'm the AFC West, if I'm the Chiefs, if I'm the Chargers, if I'm the Broncos as well, they're also 2-0. Watch the hell out. Chargers coming up next. Chiefs play tonight, so the Raiders and Broncos are tied right now, first place at 2-0, with the other two teams still yet to play today. So that AFC West, if say LA and Kansas City both win tonight, 4 2-0 teams out in the AFC West. And then the NFC West, Seattle, of course, hosting Tennessee. You had San Fran winning once again today. They're 2-0. The Rams won once again. They're also 2-0. And the Cardinals are hosting the Vikings right now. So if they win that, both divisions could have 4 2-0 ties atop the leaderboard to start the year off. But the other thing is, it is still early. We're only 2 weeks into the season, especially an expanded regular season, 18 weeks, 17 regular season games. A lot can happen, you know, one game at a time. You get to the end of the season, you get to the playoffs, you get to the Super Bowl. One game at a time. Of course, today it was the Raiders defeating the Steelers 26-17. They'll host Miami now next Sunday. Pittsburgh hosting Cincinnati. Of live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube of that. So be sure to tune back in next weekend, along with college football and professional wrestling as well, with college football next Saturday, Villanova, Penn State. Next Sunday, Bengals, Steelers in the NFL with WWE Extreme Rules next Sunday night. And then also next Monday as tomorrow night. And then the following Monday, 2 weeks from now, after next week too, next few Monday nights for Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw, have live watch along reactions live right here on the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, the Steelers got to find a running game. They can't give up as many big plays as they did on defense today. Like I said, even with all the injuries, that's still no excuse. It's next man up. You know, coming in, okay, Joe Hayden and Devin Bush were injured, and then in the game, Lou and TJ Watt both went down with injuries. You know, but I mean, Hayward played well. I thought between the four backers with Schobert, Highsmith, Ingram, and Spillane, Robert Spillane stepped up the most. And then it'd probably be a tie with the other three. You know, hopefully moving forward, you know, at least for TJ Watt's injury, it's nothing serious for his groin, along with Lou and his ankle. And then you can get both of them back, along with Joe Hayden and Devin Bush, who were out with injuries for today's game as well. But got to find a running game if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can't give up as many big plays as they did on defense today. But once again, credit to the Raiders. They played well on defense all day. They did, only giving up 17 to Pittsburgh today after an overtime win at home last Monday night. And a game that could have ended in a tie if they wanted to score that game winner from Carr to Zay Jones. But it was a game winner on a deep pass once again today, for the most part, to seal it for the Raiders from Derek Carr to Henry Ruggs III, finding his favorite carpet in the end zone for 6, and then a field goal, made it a 9-point lead, and then, of course, the game was over then at that point, 26-17, your final score. So, yeah, there's not really much else to be said other than the Raiders win 26-17. So, I'll leave it at that. You know, Pittsburgh's got, as I look at the schedule here, the Bengals next week, then they go to Green Bay, then it's Denver and Seattle, both at home before the bye week, right before Halloween. And that's the next month of the schedule before they play at Cleveland on Halloween. And then the Bears come in on a Monday night, early November. So, you know, okay, since he's 1-1, should be a good game next week. Burrow back, healthy, played in the game in Pittsburgh last November. Of course, was injured a week later, tearing his ACL against Washington. Should be a good game, always is, with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Then you go to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau. Denver's 2-0. Seattle's 1-0 right now, hosting Tennessee later on, but and then a bye week. So the bye week, for the most part, right there, right before the halfway point, I'd say, just especially with the expanded playoffs, or the expanded season with the expanded playoffs returning once again this year as well. But it's sort of front heavy with home games, and then it's on and off tail end of the season for the schedule. But it's still one game at a time. And today they just didn't do enough to win. They didn't. They still can't run the football, and they gave up way too many big plays on defense, and that's why they lost. But credit once again to the Raiders with, okay, you can't settle for field goals, but they settled for 3 earlier. Of course, kicked the one to steal it at the end as well. So 4 field goals, but just imagine those 4 field goals were touchdowns. That's another 28 points on top of what they already had. So it's a blowout at that point. It's 35, 42, 49, 17 once again. And just lucky it wasn't that. It was only a 9-point loss, but a loss is still a loss when a win's still a win. And the Raiders, with their second win to get to 2-0 now. Steelers with a loss at 1-1. So 26-17 is your final score. We'll see what it gives next week, but they'll, of course, I would hope, figure out what the hell they did wrong today, move on, and hey, as Belichick said before, we're on to Cincinnati. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're on to Cincinnati as they'll host the Bengals next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll have live watch-along reactions then live right here on YouTube, so be sure to tune in then. But today, the Pittsburgh Steelers in their home opener lose to the silver and black Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are still the Raiders there, regardless of where they're located. Oakland, LA, back in Oakland, now in Vegas. The silver and black defeat the black and gold by a final score of 26-17. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this audio only this afternoon. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. See you right now tomorrow night for more live watch-along reactions, along with next weekend as well in college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling. But the Steelers lose as the Raiders win by 9, 26-17 to kick off Week 2 and finish it out here in Week 2 in the National Football League here in 2021. Raiders 26, Steelers 17.